Hey, Trackies, good night. Good night, good night, good night. Welcome. It's a Monday and it is the 13th of May. Yay! So, going forward, hopefully, well, it all depends on the type of weekend that we'll be experiencing, but I'm foreseeing, a pretty packed track and field schedule going forward. To know have two shows. So I will be having one on Mondays where I'll be just going over what happened on the weekend. And of course, on Wednesdays where I'll be going over what to look forward to the coming weekend, right? So that's pretty much the aim of the game right now. Again, it all depends on the weekend. So if we have a slow weekend, then sure, you know what I mean? You see me doing, multiple lives. But if we're gonna be seeing weekends like the one that we just had, then yeah, there's a lot to unpack. And I think waiting until Wednesday is probably a little bit too late because um on Wednesday, I'm really looking forward to what's coming up on the weekend. You know what I mean? I'm looking forward to, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, right? So with that said, I'm going forward. Mondays and Wednesdays are our new shows time at 7. So make sure to join me then. All right. So with that said, track is boy, I don't know if my comments is not working, but I'm not seeing any comments yet. So please let me know who is here with me. Sound off in the comment section. I'm going to do a really good greeting because today's going to be a long show. There's a lot to go over, right? So let me know who is here with me so that I can get the greetings out of the way and then we can just move on with the show because as I said, there's a lot to touch, lot to touch. Hey Patrick, what's up? Fort has done nothing. Let's wait on trials, okay? Grant M, hey. Hey Claude, what's up? Hey Anita, good evening. All right, so guys, I'm just gonna jump straight in because as I said, it's a long um hey Christine. Hey Albert. So it's a long. Well, I'm hoping it won't be a long show, but when it comes to the collegiate stuff, child, there's 100,000 things going on. Hey Nolan. So there were a lot of conference finals over the weekend. And okay, for the most part, I focused on the SECs. I did touch on the ACC a teeny weeny bit and the Big 12 a titsy witsy bit. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go over real quickly the athletes that placed at these conferences, the ones that I could find. I did go over to a few additional conference where I found a few Jamaicans sporadically, here and there. I don't even remember who is who, but I found some people in Pac 12 as well as Big 10, as well as what is this? Oh my lord, I don't even know which championship this is I'm on. Bla- who is this? Conference USA Championships, I guess. And Mountain West as well. So yeah, those will be the conference that I'm touching on today. So let's jump straight in, and I want to start with the ACC, and we're just gonna go straight through from there, right? So, hey John, what's up? Lots of word leads as well. Yes, a lot of great performances. The collegiate athletes, definitely showed up and showed out. There's just something I didn't particularly enjoy, and it's not because I did see Brianna Liston eventually end up with an injury because even when I was watching, Nikisha Price, run her 400, I did notice that she had a strap on her leg as well. Plus, there's just so many other athletes that I saw having, strappings here, there, and everywhere. And I was just thinking to myself, like, what is going on here? Why are all these athletes strapped up? And I was just, trying to look back at the current, state of track and field from a professional perspective. And I don't know, maybe I'm just not looking, but I don't think I see professional athletes, strapped up like this when I'm watching on the circuit. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong. So that was a little concerning for me. Well, not little. It's a whole lot concerning. You know what I mean? So I'll get into that, after I obviously do the pronouncements of what happened at the ACC. So let's get into that. I'm just gonna share my screen real quick so we can get through the people them. And yeah, so y'all can see what I'm seeing, child. And we move, right? Okay, let's go to this. All right, share. All right, so you guys should be seeing the ACC Outdoor Championships. Where right now we're on the hammer throw. and Marie Forbes representing Clemson. So she's a Jamaican. And guys, I'll be announcing the Jamaican winners in case y'all don't know. So these are just the Jamaican placings. Let's just put it that way, right? In the finals of each event. So I'm only going to be touching finals and also who placed in top eight. So if you weren't in top eight, yeah, no mention right now, but definitely appreciate the performances still. But anyway, let's go. So Marie Forbes, as I said, won the women's hammer throw for the ACC Outdoor Championships. She threw a personal best 67.03 meters to take that win. So again, Marie Forbes doing big things out here for the hammer throw. You know, indoors, you would have seen her doing the, what did I call that thing on the indoors? Why is there a moth bothering me right now? Like really moth? Anyway, so what's that makeup event that they do with like a short thing that looks like a hammer? But anyway, yes, you'll see. Oh, the weight throw, right? So you'll be seeing her do the weight throw a lot indoors. So outdoors, clearly we get to the full hammer. So she's out here doing it big. A new personal best 67.03 meters. So fantastic throwing from her. I'm just gonna keep rolling, guys. Just gonna keep rolling. So in the men's hammer throw, we had Daniel Cope there as well, and he placed sixth in the ACC hammer throw finals, and he threw a season's best of 63.42 meters. All right, so that's what happened in the hammer throw for the men and the women. Now in the men's long jump at the ACC championships, we had Jordan Turner. He placed second and he jumped 7.90 meters for a season's best jump for him. So again, Jordan Turner, 7.90 meters, placing second in the men's long jump. Now, jumping on over from there, we're going to go to the men's shot put, where we had Courtney Lawrence. He walked to the win here and he threw 19.75 meters, and that was a personal best for him. So, Courtney Lawrence winning the men's shot put for the ACC Championships outdoors. Fantastic throwing from him. Again, you know what? I'm just so excited to see when these athletes, progress from the collegiate level to senior ranks and start being part of our team heading to championships. We just talked about two athletes in the hammer throw. We're seeing athletes, in the shot put as well. So that's great. That's great. And of course, we covered Jordan Turner in the long jump. We have three really amazing long jumpers right now. So, Jamaica is looking good in the field. We're definitely looking good in the field. Um, in the women's discus finals, Marie Forbes came back here and she placed third and she threw 55.99 meters for this third place finish in the women's what did I say? Discus, yes. So in the women's discus, so she finishes first in the um hammer throw and third in the discus. So great placings for her here at the ACC Championships. Then we're jumping on over to the women's triple jump where Shante Foreman placed second here, jumping a personal best of 13.26 meters. So that is Shante Foreman again, jumping 13.26 meters, a personal best to finish second in the women's triple jump. Jumping on over from that, we have the women's 200-meter finals where we had Okira Mary. She finished fifth, running 23.36 seconds. In the men's 200-meter finals, we had DeAndre Anderson. Interestingly, it seems as though DeAndre Anderson, I'm not sure, I didn't see him in the four. I'm going to double check, but I don't think I saw him in the four. But anyway, DeAndre Anderson finished second in the men's 200 meters, running 20.58 seconds. So that is for DeAndre Anderson. Then we're gonna jump over to the women's 400-meter hurdles finals where we had Jodian Dixon, and she ran 59 seconds on the nose to finish fifth in the women's 400-meter hurdles. Um, in the men's 800 meters, interesting. Tyrese Roden runs another personal best. So he's been on a roll. I've been talking about him all season. He comes out again, runs another personal best, 1 minute 45.97 seconds. So dipping below that all important 146 barrier, now into the 145s. Now we need him to take another step to get into 144 because that's where you need to be to get that automatically qualifying mark to get to the world championships. So let's see, if he'll be able to get that time between now and again the Jamaican trials, or at least June 30 when the date cuts off for qualifying for these events. Let's see. I wish them all the best. So he wins though the ACC 800-meter title again. big running, 1 minute 45.97 seconds. Um, Moving on from that, we're gonna go to the women's 100-meter finals where we had Kayla Bunnick, and she placed eighth and she ran 11.56 seconds. Moving on from that, we're going to jump into the men's 400 meters. Oh, he was here, DeAndre. Okay. So DeAndre runs a personal best, 45.37 seconds in the 400 meters to place second, right? So he places second in the two and second in the four. So good running from him. Again, a personal best, 45.37 seconds. Let's see if there's any other Jamaican here. Nope. All right, let's go again. We had Onika Wilson in the women's 100-meter hurdles, and she won the women's 100-meter hurdles ACC Outdoor Championships, running 12.87 seconds. This is a new PB for her. Wow. I think this is probably her first time as well, dipping below 13 seconds, if I'm not mistaken. So big run from Onika Wilson. Definitely, clawing that those times down, bringing them down, meet by meet. And this year she's been running really well as well. I believe she took not the NCAA. I believe she took the ACC indoor 60-meter title. So on the back of that, she comes out and she wins the ACC outdoor championship title as well. So big running from her. Fantastic season she's been enjoying. So we're gonna jump from that straight over to the men's 110-meter hurdles where we had Jaheim Hales here, and he ran 13.80 seconds to finish second in this race. So again, the Jamaicans having good placings in for this particular meeting. All right, so let's hear what you have to say about the ACC. Then I'm going to jump over to the other events. Hold on there. Is it that you guys haven't been seeing my screen? I thought I shared my screen. Guys, this whole time nobody was seeing my screen? What is happening here? I thought I was sharing my screen. Anyway, let's move on. I'm okay. I had a tumultuous weekend. And I'll get into that. When we start talking about the Jamaican Invitational, then I touch on, what happened there, my experience and everything. But right now I just want to get over everything that's happening here. No, I didn't see Shakiri, but I knew she was there. Apparently she was sitting directly across from where I was sitting incidentally, but anyway. Um yeah, collegiate athletes are showing out. Yep, yep, yep. Hey Keisha, what's up? Hey Nicola. Um, yes, guys, please remember to hit the like. I keep forgetting, guys. Hit the like button. The workload for the college athletes tends to be a lot more with regards to competitive meets. I don't know. I just feel like I just don't like it. I just can't like it. You know what I mean? And it kind of makes me wonder if this is also part of the reason why we don't really see many athletes matriculate to the next level, which is professional, clearly, right? After having such phenomenal collegiate careers. It's the same way you can look at champs as well from a Jamaican perspective and see how, we've seen a lot of athletes get burnt out, injured left, right, and center. And because of that, they didn't get to take it to the next level. Phenomenal junior athletes for Jamaica have fallen by the wayside. And I think that there are a lot of collegiates as well that have fallen by the wayside. But I just don't like seeing it. I don't like seeing it. You know what I mean? I don't know if there's any way to, prevent it from just a bystander standpoint. But I just know that I don't like looking at it. Um, they don't stop. They don't strap up because they want to be healthy before performing, not competing for team points. I don't understand. They don't strap up because they want to be healthy before performing. Huh? But Nolan, please reword that. I'm not sure. I understand what you said. Hey Peter, what's up? I think Julian have to prove himself because Kishane oblique gonna go all out. If Benalison recover from her injury, it's possible that she will make the relay team. Hey Mike Kane, what's up? Hey Cosmic Wisdom. Um Hey Angela, what's up? Earlier I saw the start list for Rabat. Right, which is why again, as I'm saying, I want to get over, what happened over the weekend from now, because come Wednesday I'll be touching on Rabat. I won't be touching on Rabat in this stream, but come Wednesday I'll be talking about Rabat. So again, I need to just get over what happened on the weekend from early on out. You know what I mean? Um, Love listening to you. Thank you. I appreciate it, Angela. It's interesting. So I went to the national stadium, and of course I watched the meet, and I recorded some races, and I put some races up on my channel. And it's interesting that I got a few people saying, "Where's the commentary?" You know what I mean? We're looking forward to hearing the commentary, and it's kind of funny because sometimes I do the commentary, I get people saying, "Oh my God, you talk too much." I know I'm getting people saying, "Where's the commentary? We missed the commentary." So that was interesting. But anyway, hey Toki, um, hey Sonia, what's up? All right, so guys, I'm jumping straight from the ACC, and I'm gonna go straight into I think this is Big 12. One of them. I don't know what me are jumping at right now, but me jumping into something. Yeah, let's go into Big 12. There are a few events that I didn't get to cover, from a Big 12 perspective. So let me do that. And I hope this time around my screen actually shares properly, because I don't know what happened last time around. Right. But anyway, let me share. Where am I? Um, Share. Is my screen sharing? Okay, so it's sharing. So what happened last time? Is it because I closed it or something? Anyway, all right. So I don't need to close this one at least. All right, so let's jump into the women's 100-meter final here. Well, since it's on this, let's just talk about it from here. Kevona Davis makes a comeback and places third here in the women's 100 meters, and she ran at 11.32 seconds. Now, it's interesting to note for the Big 12 championship. So there were 3 days: Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. However, they were experiencing inclement weather. So Friday, unfortunately, I believe was either rained out or they were having lightning storms. Something was going on. But Friday for the track events was for the most part, rained out. So they had no track events on Friday. So what happened on Saturday is that all these were just timed finals. So the fastest time at the end of the day ended up being the winner. You know what I mean? So that's pretty much what we have here. So when you see all these athletes in the list, it's because everybody just ran off for the win. You know what I mean? Kind of unfortunate, but they didn't have a way around it. Unfortunately, there's nothing you can do about nature. Right. So with that said, Kevona Davis places third, so good comeback from her. And Dejane Oakley as well in the 100-meter places seventh, and she ran 11.38 seconds. Right. So again, good running from our Texas athletes out there. So let's jump on from the women's one. Was the women's one the first one? Maybe I should have started from the top. You know what? Let me go back from the top. Don't think we have anybody in any of these things. Okay, I don't know Jamaican in that. Password? Um, I'm just trying to skip through as quickly as possible. Okay, so in the women's triple jump, we had Akila Smith winning that, and she jumped 13.92 meters to take the win here. And of course, Akila is also on the comeback as well. Again, it kind of makes me side eye. And again, it's not specific only to like LSU clearly, because I think I remember complaining during indoors as well when I saw Akila doing so many events. She was doing the long jump, the triple jump, and the 60 meters, and I complained, about her doing so much events, and the end result to that was she ended up picking up an injury, right? So with that said, yeah, don't look forward to seeing our athletes doing so many events, for sure. One moment there, track is I'm sorry, guys. Give me one moment there. I'm just trying to start something. Jamaican trials will be too competitive this summer. Men's 100 meters too hot. Oblique, Julian and Krumi Sandre, Young Blake, Golson. Too many to mention. Um, well, Golson are good. Oh, guys, don't say those things. You guys are such a mess. Okay, all right. All right, guys. So let's get back into the rest of these results. All right, guys. Sorry for the disturbance. You know, it's so funny that it's every single. Put it in there for me. Every single time I'm live, I get disturbed, and I'm not disturbed when I'm not live. But as soon as I go live, is when I get disturbed. I apologize, guys. Okay, so we talked about the women's triple jump. Let's move on from that. I don't think we have anybody in the discuss, but it doesn't hurt to check. Okay. The 4x1s. Okay, men's 100-meter, 110-meter hurdles. Vashan Vasiana. So this was somebody I was looking out for sure to see him run. I was excited seeing him on the start line. I believe this is his first time running, actually. I don't think I've seen him all season, right? So for a first come out to run 13.86 seconds is amazing for me, and can't wait to see, how he progresses from here. Again, after this, the athletes have to go to regionals where they have to qualify for the NCAA outdoor championships. So I don't know if he has enough time to get fast enough to qualify for the outdoor championships. But guess what? If you can come out and you can bang out a 13.86 seconds from one run, you know what I mean? Again, there was no heat race. I don't believe there was no heat race because all these races I think happened on maybe Friday. I think were supposed to happen on Friday, but they never happened on Friday. Let me see if there was scheduled for Thursday. Let me see. No, 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 no. Right. So these races were scheduled for Friday, but they never happened again because of the inclement weather. So that said, to come out and run a 13.86 just off one run from me, again, great run. I'm gonna check the actual heats and see if he won his heat because maybe he did. Um, Chat. Oh no, they don't have it like that. They only have it compiled, unfortunately. Okay, it's fine. With that said, he finished seventh. So again, good running. Let's see how he progresses from here. Once he gets to regional, let's see if he'll be in any other meetings for Texas before he gets to regionals as well. Let's see what else is here. I don't think there's any Jamaican there. Okay, so Demar Francis wins the men's 400 meters. He ran 45.44 seconds to take the win there. Shamar Uta was fourth. He ran 45.63 seconds. And yeah, that's top eight there. So two Jamaicans finishing top eight, Demar Francis and Shamar Uta. All right, so with the women's four, let's see who we have here. Okay, so Dejane stepped down to something else. So no Jamaican, I don't think in top eight right here. No, those names don't ring a bell to me at least. The men's 100 meters. Let's see if we had anybody here in top eight. No, we didn't. All right, men's triple. Bam, 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 bam. No. Okay. Women's one. Okay, so I touched this one already, I think. So men's 800. So none of our 800 big 800-meter athletes are in Big 12, but we did have Kellyanne Beckford here for the women in the 800 meters, and she placed second. She ran 2 minutes 01.3 3 seconds, right? So yeah, Kellyanne Beckford coming back as well. Not really sure what happened to her, but again, 2 minutes 1.33 seconds is not bad. Let's see what happens once they go to regionals as well as the NCAA Outdoor Championships. Because remember, she won. Did she win Big 12 and then she didn't? I don't remember what happened to her at the NCAA Indoor Championships. Things didn't go right for her at the Indoor Championships. But let's see what happens. We're outside now. You don't really have to worry about the track issues that much. So let's see what happens for her here. Um, see if we have anybody in the women's 4 hurdles. Nope. All right, so men's 200-meter finals, we had Sam Demar Francis. He placed third here, and he ran 20.38 seconds. So this was a personal best for him. Again, I've been talking about, Demar Francis just in general, just getting better and better over both the 4 and 2. Interested more in his 2 because we're short staffed. Jamaica is short staffed when it comes to the 200 meters. So we need the hands. We definitely need the hands. So I'm definitely intrigued to see again how far he'll be able to take it to as well. Women's 200 meters. Dejanay Oakley comes back here and takes the win. She runs 22.60 seconds, and Kevona Davis dips below 23 seconds and run a 22.82. So good running from Kevona again. Just coming back. We haven't seen Kevona in a good chunk, and she has come back and laid on pretty competent times. Let's see between now regionals and hopefully the NCAA Outdoor Championships if Kevona Davis will be back to or close enough to her previous best to see if she'll be able to challenge for a top pole position, right? Because if you can just come back and have a few races, be in the top, just goes to show you her quality, right? It's like she never left, pretty much. So yeah, I'm definitely happy for her. All right, so that was the Big 12 outdoor championship. So let me stop sharing for a moment. Let's get in now. Um, da-da-da. Sorry, LOL. What I meant was you won't find the professionals taping up and running because that would mean they're carrying an injury. Their coaches won't allow that. Right. So the coaches won't be allowing the athletes to run, injured to a certain extent. I won't say I haven't seen athletes run with an injury, right? I do remember famously last year Shelly was running and she was strapped up. But for the most part, they won't be sending them out injured unless it's crunch time, and clearly for Shelly it was crunch time, so she had to go injury or not, you know what I mean, and she walked out with a bronze at the World Championship, so that was great for her. Plus I've also seen a lot of our young athletes that are just taken to the professional ranks that really suffered, especially last year. A lot of them came to had a lot of injuries, are just were just running with niggles here and there. So I won't say I don't see them running with injuries, but I don't think it's as frequent as I'm looking at it at, or at least when the professionals get injured, they sit out. You know what I mean? I don't see them the next week or no 2 weeks later. But for the collegiates, injury or not, it's like I'm seeing them week after week after week, and I don't enjoy that particular part of the collegiate system. I love the fast times. I'm not gonna tell you, like when I see the athletes being able to perform fast, I love it, but I'm like, okay, are we just, pushing the body to a certain limit that it can't even handle? That's my thought process at this particular point. Hey, Dr. John Day Smith. I had fun meeting you over the weekend. um, what is this? Gregan K. Yeah, I'll get into Nisha Berger after this. She was into a different conference. So, guys, I literally have to be digging up these people in different conferences. I swear to you, but I'll get into it. Um, T, I want to ask what is happening with Brianna Williams, even though she just switched camp. All right, so I'll get into Brianna when I get into the Jamaica Invitational. Just let me round off everything that happened collegiately. And the reason why I didn't do an individual video for it because it was just way too much results to do an individual video. You guys would not be getting through that. So I'm just like, okay, let me just save it for the live and just go through the results, and then I can just move on from there. Um Not every junior athlete transition to the professional and do well. I hope that's not Brianna's case. Which Brianna are we talking about here? Because one is pro, one is on the verge of doing something, hopefully jaw dropping, in the near future when she's healthy. So I'm not sure which Brianna we're talking about. They were timed finals. Kevona won her 100-meter easy, but too slow for the win. Right. So no, I knew there were timed finals. I just couldn't see the individual based on how they put it up. Usually you can still break it down into each heat, but they didn't. I'm not seeing it like that. I'm only seeing the compiled results. I can't tell you which heat she was in and what happened. Right. So yeah. Um Fort Fort looking improved and more consistent. Let's hope he maintains this improved performance towards trials and Olympics. Not optimistic about Fort. He said he almost stopped because he felt something. I'm gonna get into that. Remind me of that particular part when we get to Julian. Sonia. Um Bless up yourself, my friend. Thank you, Carlton. Bless up to you as well. What did Kevona run in the 100 meters? I didn't see that. 11.3 something, I think. 32. 11.32, I believe. Hey, Marvin. Love your show. I think Shelly will run 10.5. She looks it real way. She looks good. But people keep telling me that, oh, you can't judge nothing based on a training video. And like how the coaches judge things based on training. You know what I mean? It's like something you think that, doing commentary it's just any random person can get up and do commentary and analyze races. Clearly I have an eye for this, that's why I'm able to do it. Sometimes I think people underestimate again what I'm capable of, maybe because they think I've never done track and field. But anyway, let's go. I knew Julian would win the race based on his previous race. Fort looked like him broke down already. Brianna Williams, I'm making reference to. I didn't say Brianna. Okay. But Brianna is already a professional, so I'm not sure I understand what you're saying, and she's already an Olympic gold medalist. So, which is why I asked which Brianna because I was confused. Um, Kevona is good. Then and at 22.8 in the 200 meters, she is good. Just needs some more races. Yeah, she definitely came back strong. So I'm saying by now and NCAA's we may see her challenging for a top spot. So that's good. That's definitely good seeing her come back. Honestly, I don't know if the start is starting. Don't see any change there, but can't help hoping to see a better start from her, right? So let's jump on over to. I just touched on the Big 12, right? So let me close Big 12 and let me jump into what is this one now? Let me wrap up SEC because there are quite a few field events that I didn't get to cover in SEC. So let me go ahead and cover them here because I know we won the high jump in the men, right? So let me just share again and then we can and I can get back and talk about what happened at the SEC's Thursday field events. Were there any finals on Thursday? No, the Jamaicans would be in those events. I don't believe. Friday field events. Okay, here we go. So we had no Jamaican there. Men's high jump. So Romain Beckford won the high jump. He jumped at 2.22 meters to take the win there. Um, no Jamaican right here. Women's shot put. Listen, it's so hard to figure out which Jamaican represents which conference. So Wayne Pinnock takes the long jump win, and he jumped at 8.09 meters to take the win. So Wayne Pinnock is currently the world leader. Um, as it relates to this jump, let me see the flights or field series. I want to see how much jumps he took. So he had a bunch of no jump. He had a bunch of no jumps. It seems. Um, no, that no no no. This is not a foul. See foul here, so it looks like he just wasn't jumping. So he only took two jumps. That's two attempts. So he jumped first. I don't know what ND means. What is ND? No something. It has to be no something, but I'm not sure what the D is. Anyway, so he jumped at 7.88 in this first attempt, and then he came back in the fourth round, and he jumped a 8.09. So I guess based on the weather, he wasn't really trying to be out there and doing too much. He was just trying to just go for the win, which is clearly what he did here. Yeah, just enough to win, and that's all she wrote. We'll have other opportunities in better conditions to perform great, but we don't need to be pushing it when the weather is not great. You know what I mean? Then we can jump into the Saturday now. Let's see if we have any more field events here to talk about, or we can get into the high jump for the women. Kai Chang placed second in the men's discus throw. He threw 60.91 meters for that. So that is Kai Chang. Did I get through Arkansas in the discus? Which no, I haven't touched Arkansas yet. No, I have. So how come I don't see my guy there? Oh, don't tell me I'm done with discus throwing. What is his name, guys? Um, he goes to Arkansas, and what is his name? And he was trying out for football, and I saw him he got an invite recently, and I was there thinking to myself, oh my God, are we gonna lose him to American football? But I'm looking here and I don't see him. Arkansas is in SEC, ain't they? Because that's where Nikisha Price goes, and a SEC that. So the mere fact that I don't see him here in the discourse is like, I think we've lost it. Yes, Roger Stoner. Thank you guys for reminding me. Roger Stoner. Have we lost him to American football? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Are you serious? I think we've lost him to American football. I'm gonna look good if I see him name. Maybe I have some no show or something. No, guys, he's not here, unfortunately. I guess that's probably all she wrote with him on the discuss. Ah, boy. I mean, that's where the bag is. I'm not mad at him, you know what I mean? It's just sad losing out on such a talent in track and field. But, for years, Americans have talked about, losing their best athletes, actually, best sprinters to football, to American football. And that is why America hasn't dominated the way they could possibly dominate, because their best athletes just don't do track and field. Their best athletes are elsewhere, you know what I mean? So it is what it is. Let's move on. Women's high jump. So Lamar Dixon was third, and she jumped 1.89 meters. Again, I'm not sure this. No, it's SEC, so there was no increment with her. Okay, so I'm not sure because you see, when it comes to Lamar, sometimes her performances tend to fluctuate. So I'm not really sure how to rate this third place. But again, this third is a third. You're not gonna always win. You know what I mean? And I don't believe she won indoors. I believe she was second indoors as well. I believe Rachel Glenn here from Arkansas won, even though she's second here, she won indoors. So let's see by the time she gets to the outdoor championships. Hopefully though, she gets back up into 2 meters, because really and truly she'll be heading to the Olympic Games for Jamaica. And once you jump in 2 meters, who knows, you can get yourself on the podium. And I have to say, I've been talking about how just track and field in general is just experiencing a growth period. I would say, like, just in most of the events, we're seeing really amazing performances right across the board. But there's one event where the performances have actually declined, and that's the high jump. I don't know if y'all have noticed, but the high jump across the board for the men and the women are not giving you. You remember when Mutas Esha Barshim would be jumping, 2.4, regular, you know what I mean? And we had, what's her name? She used to do this when she was jumping. I forget. And Blanca Vlasic. Blanca Vlasic. Whatever. Child. Blanca Vlasic. Something. I can't pronounce words anymore. I hate this thing in my mouth. But anyway, Blanca Vlasic. Something. Her name. When those girls were jumping, they were jumping regular, 2.03, you know, that was pretty much what we were seeing, 2.04 all the way up to 2.06, if I'm not mistaken. That's like our personal best. But no, you'll be lucky if you're seeing a 2 meter jump. You know what I mean? That's pretty much what we're seeing here. I think the highest we've seen in a couple of years is like 2.03. I don't think we've seen, higher than 2.03 in a few years, really. So these are the only events I think that are not, experiencing, I would say, a glory period, right? Or a growth period then. So look here, if Lamar this thing can come back and a jump in the 2 meters range, she can find herself on the middle podium. I'm just saying. I'm just saying, right? Um, women's discus, no Jamaican there. Women's triple. Okay, we had Leah. I don't. This is a Jamaican Leah Anderson, is it? How many Jamaican Leah Andersons do we have? I only know one Jamaican Leah Anderson. Is this another Jamaican Leah Anderson? And then we had Luke Brown. So Luke Brown took the triple jump and he jumped 16.40 meters. So another big win for Luke Brown. He won indoors, coming back here and winning again. Any other Jamaican in top eight? No. All right, so that's it for the field events for Saturday. Let's jump back into some of the running events now. So y'all know I covered the 100 meters already, the 200 meters, and the 400 meters. This is something I really wanted to talk about. No, I found it very, very shocking, actually, that no Jamaican made it to the men's 400-meter finals. Did y'all peep that? None of the Jamaicans that I've been talking about that have been running well for the SEC. I believe our best 400-meter athletes partake in the SEC, if I'm not mistaken. That's where you see, I think, Javon him name child. We have so many Javons, but anyway, and yeah, they didn't make it to the finals. Let me go to the preliminaries so y'all can see what I'm talking about. So we have Raheem Hills here. He was the fastest of all the Jamaicans, but he could only place 11th. Right, Javon Powell also didn't make it. Which other Jamaicans do we have here? Joshua Dennis also didn't make it. Let's see. Anyway, long story short is I was surprised that we didn't have any Jamaican make it to the 400-meter finals for the men. That was very, very surprising for me, for sure. Um, let's look at these men's 110-meter hurdles because we had Jaheim Stern here. Jaheim Stern finished fifth and he ran 13.54 meters. So good running from Jaheim. He's always been placing high at these, SEC championships. Let's see what happens when he gets outdoors. Um, so okay, guys. Alia Armstrong. This is the finals? The finals made up on? Okay. To prove my point, let me come back on the screen. Because I don't think a lot of people are peeping what I'm saying, Right? Um, Alia Armstrong goes to LSU, right? And Alia Armstrong has been experiencing a few years of injuries where I'm not really sure what happened. But anyway, long story short is she hasn't been the same since she has returned. She looks like she's lost that whatever gives her her speed, that fast twitch, whatever it is, it doesn't seem to exist anymore. I don't know if we're probably gonna have to wait until next year. But I remember Alia Armstrong was out there, running with Akira Nugent, a couple years ago, right? Or was it last year? Whichever year it was, last year, right? If I'm not mistaken, last year, challenging for all the titles on offer. So it was three of them: Masai, Akira, and Alia Armstrong. But she ended up picking up an injury, right? But she doesn't look the same. And again, it kind of just goes back to the conversation I was having when I talked about, LSU, and I was just noticing that all their athletes just seem to be their sprinters seem to just be picking up injuries left, right, and center. No, I talked about the professionals. I talked about the Aliyah Hobbs. Every second Aliyah Hobbs is injured. So yes, they're able to get the athletes to run really, really fast. But I'm like, but on the other hand, they're also ended up injured, over and over and over again. So honestly, I'm not gonna tell you no lie. I'm 100% concerned for Brianna Liston. I know a lot of people don't want to come out and say it because it's Brianna Liston, and I don't even know why they don't want to come out and say it. But right about now, I am concerned. I'm not gonna tell you I'm not concerned because I'm not even just looking at her to say, oh, maybe she it's just a one-off thing with her. I'm just looking at everybody else around her at LSU. All the girls at LSU had straps someplace on their legs. All these sprinters had some kind of strapping, right? And then for the ones that didn't have any strapping, I suppose, I'm just looking at the hurdlers picking up injuries at some particular point in time. I'm just looking at an Alia Armstrong that hasn't been herself recently, and I'm like, I can't. This Alia Armstrong was competing with Masai and Akira and I run, some 12. What was it? 12 threes, a couple years ago. So I don't know. I'm not really sure what's happening here with LSU. But for me personally, again, looking at it from a Jamaican perspective and looking at our star athlete, I am concerned. You know what I mean? And I'm hoping that they just give her some time to heal before they send her back out because I don't know. I've seen them do it for champs trackies, and I don't agree with it when they send athletes out injured, to get points so that they can win. LSU did end up winning the team title and everything, but I don't know. So it does not sit well with my spirit. You know what I mean? It just doesn't sit well with my spirit at all. But anyway, enough of that rant. Danae Nemhard was here for Jamaica and Rosalie Cooper. So Danae Nemhard finished sixth and she ran 13.06 seconds, and Rosalie Cooper was eighth and she ran 13.30 seconds. Um, I already touched on the 100s. Did I touch on the men's 100? Did we have anybody here? Okay, so Jelani Gardner was in the men's 100-meter finals and he finished sixth and he ran 10.08 seconds. So this is a new PB for him. Great run for Jelani, actually. This race was a humdinger. This was a very, very close race. Look at this 999, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1006, 1008, 1009. This was a really, really good race here for the SEC Championship. So, again, this year SECs is definitely, well, for the last few years SECs has definitely been stronger, but sometimes Big 12 ends up looking stronger because I remember when Julian was there, as well as all those girls that have now turned pro. It was the Big 12 was the conference that everybody was interested in. You know what I mean? It's SEC's turn to control things. You know what I mean? So the pendulum is now swinging, right? So yeah, that's what happened there. Men's 800-meter finals. Kimar Farkas finished fifth, and he ran 1 minute 47.62 seconds. Tyrese Reed was also here. He finished eighth, and he ran 1 minute 48.56 seconds. I don't think we have any Jamaican here. Okay, men's 400-meter hurdles. You know what? I've been wondering recently why I'm not seeing many 400-meter hurdlers for Jamaica on the collegiate scene. I'm not seeing many hurdlers. And that was very interesting. We had Gabrielle White in the women's 400-meter hurdles, and she placed fifth, and she ran 57.58 seconds. Men's 200, we had nobody. Okay. Um, we touched on the women's two already. All right, so that is it for the SEC championships. Let's stop sharing, read a few more comments, and then jump into the final couple athletes at the other conferences that I need to touch on. Okay, so let's see. Where am I? Roger is at the invite. Yeah, I know he got the invite, but I was just thinking to myself that it's just a shame for track and field. You know what I mean? Of course, secure the bag for sure. Absolutely. Oh, hey, Ali by nature. Yeah, secure the bag. I have no problems with that, but I'm just sad because track and field loses another potential big star. Um, no distance. Okay, it's just that the what America uses, those acronyms that they use versus the ones that are globally recognized by World Athletics are different. Everything them just want to different. But none of them enough so. I'm just can you like say for instance everybody says PB for personal best. Them have to say PR personal record. I mean come on. Oh, also it's voluntary run through like pulling out of a jump, which is different from a pass. Oh, so wouldn't that be a foul if you run through? or pull out of the jump, because if you pull out of the jump, you still, are running through the I believe, what do you call it, the board, right? So wouldn't that be registered as a no jump? I'm not sure I follow. Um, anyway, yes, they say he got a chance with the Saints. Yeah, I did see the invite on Instagram. I remember seeing it. Well, Google said that Stona is trying out for the New Orleans Saints. Yeah, guys, I'm just sad that we miss out on a potential, superstar in track and field. But it is what it is. Get that back. Demar won the Big 12 400 meters. Yes, I did go over that already. Hi Victor. They looked mashed up. Well, I don't know. I never like seeing all them strap your left, right, and center. I don't know. Um, look at Favor last year, but she looks good. But she looks good now. Yeah, I remember Favor last year was heavily injured, but that's after them run Favor into the ground. Remember they run Favor into the ground? I'm telling you, who was there running into the ground? What's that girl? Where she go? Florida. She's the Florida Gators. They call her, what is her name? She has a nickname. Oh gosh. And her mother, I think, was an athlete, American. Jeez. And she runs the 400 meters. Her name is slipping me. She had one next one when they're running at the ground. I believe last year. I believe last year somebody was commenting and saying if I watched the 4x4 with her, she did end up dash for the button because she just couldn't take it no more. You know what I mean? But when I look at those things, Chucky, me can't help but be concerned but the two little Jamaican them have over there. To be fair, Brianna Liston has been injury prone all her career. Facts. LSU gave her a lot of time last year to heal. I agree they did. But it doesn't change the fact that she's injury prone and you still have to be tentative. Not because you gave her a year means that okay, we can just go full blast the next year, especially when you're seeing telltale signs. I don't know if I would run her that much, but here what I'm not the coach, but I'm just saying from a bystander perspective, it's concerning. Um these athletes want to compete for their team and win. Why are we acting like the coaches are slave driving them? You know what, prodigal son? I did see your comment in my comment section, actually. I'm just gonna move along because I don't think anybody was saying that. But anyway, you see, sometimes we want to be in defense of the system that we will ignore, certain telltale signs that are happening to the athletes and say, "Oh, it's the athlete that wants to do it." I remember you vividly saying something about Britton Wilson, and I thought to myself that was so disingenuous. I remember sitting here behind my screen last year, the whole year screaming and saying, why is her coach letting her run the 400-meter and 400-meter hurdles double? Why? Any sane person would stop her from doing that. You know what I mean? And I remember the kickback was, well, she wants to do it. I said, I don't care if she wants to do it. When you think about it logically, who has ever successfully done something like that? Especially at the NCAA championships where you're running these races back to back to back. There's no respite in between. So it's not like when you go to a championship, so they may run, give you a break in between some of these races. For the 400 meter, well, for any racing on for collegiate championships, it's back to back to back. You know what I mean? You're competing in all these races in a short, what is it, 2 days or 3 days? How long is the championships? 2 or 3 days, right? You're doing all of these in such a short time span, which normal person would say that is okay. So I remember screaming at my screen. She's not even Jamaican, and I thought to myself, like, what are you guys doing? And what happened to her at the end of the day? And then no, you're gonna turn around and say, oh, she wanted to do it. Oh, come on. I'm sure if the powers that be said no, you're not running, she wouldn't have run, or she couldn't run. You think, say, no athlete out of Jamaica can look past Stephen Francis or when near Ronaldo Walcott or whoever that's coaching them and say, "Oh, I want to run," and ignore the coach's instructions. Give me a break. Please, prodigal son, give me a break. That one is not going to fly. I was gonna ignore you, but since you bring it up and I make it look like, say, the athletes that want to do this, you're being very, very disingenuous. Coaches can stop athletes from wrecking themselves. If an athlete wants to wreck themselves, are you gonna stand around and watch them wreck themselves? That don't make no sense to me. Guys, I don't know why prodigal start me up tonight, You see, because I'm so concerned about our Jamaican athletes, don't start me up. They are probably collecting on their investments. Can't give her a scholarship and have her spend all the time trying to get healthy. Texas has been transferred to SEC. Oh yeah, I didn't know. Okay, it's gonna be interesting watching Texas with LSU and all these other big schools, Texas A&M, next season. That's gonna be interesting. The girl that won the 400-meter hurdles, I thought she was Jamaican. Uh, what are we talking about? SEC? I closed the page. I don't think she was Jamaican. I'm sorry. I think I closed the page, but I remember looking at it. Gabrielle Matthews. No, Gabrielle Matthews. She went to Queens. Gabrielle Matthews win. Did I just ignore Gabrielle Matthews? I apologize, guys. I swear to you, that's not who I saw. But anyway, um, yeah, definitely congrats to Gabrielle. Definitely. I sorry. I'm sorry. I overlooked her. I apologize. But it's a name I know, so I wouldn't overlook her purposefully. Um the SEC championships and the NCAAs are the payoffs to these kids. It's not just another meet. Yes, Talitha Diggs. Thank you for reminding me. Talitha Diggs. She's another one that they're running to the ground. You know what I mean? So you guys are looking at these people running these athletes into the ground and making it look like it's okay. It's not cool. And persons voicing their concern shouldn't be a problem, especially when you're looking at them vividly injured for however long, having to sit out. Talitha Diggs hasn't been the same since. What did I used to call her? Talithal. Where is the Talithal from in that season that was so lethal that they called her Talithal? She hasn't been the same since. Yes, guys, Gabriel Matthews is Jamaican. I apologize. I apologize. I apologize. I apologize. I completely skipped past her. Um, I said something similar early this evening about not wanting Brianna to run 10-7 so quickly, and you said some other rubbish to me. No, guys, don't think I don't understand you saying to me that you don't want her to run 10-7. No, because her body can't handle running 10-7. That is different from being able. So she's capable of running 10-7, and that is a fact. Can she manage running 10-7? That's a whole other kettle of fish. That's a whole other conversation that we're going to be having. But Brianna Liston is very much capable of running 10-7. May I ask you no question? No, when we get into the whether or not it's good for her to run 10-7, that's a whole other kettle of fish, right? And that's a whole other conversation that we're gonna have. But she's very much capable of running 10-7. Um yes, guys. I'm sorry I skipped past Gabriel Matthews. Um that is why the twins stay here, because the college run the kids to wreck. Look at Abby, what happened to her. And then yeah, and Abby came out of college and shortly after that had to go do surgery on her Achilles. Like, come on, guys. You're seeing these things vividly and just want to. I don't even know what you want to do. I don't even know what the purpose of this is. I don't know why I'm arguing about this, because to me it makes no sense because it's so blatant. Um Jamaica have the next female about to go sub 11. We can get into that shortly. I haven't touched that yet. There was no need for Brianna to run the 200 meters. LSU already had, and then there's that as well, right? Jogging the finals just to get points. I'm like, come on, really, guys, really? Cimarron would be a better word. T. I don't know what these people doing. I don't know what to say. But anyway, let's move on. Let's move on, because I'm not going to, you know, join y'all on this, crusade of making it look like, oh, all is perfect. All is not perfect. No place is perfect, and it's okay for people to point out these things. I've been watching them, run some of these athletes into the ground, and it's not just because they're Jamaican. Yes, there's a Jamaican in the quest in my thoughts right now when I'm talking about it. But when I was talking about it last year, it wasn't no Jamaican. I never know Jamaican, then did I run into the ground. They were American, and I was looking at it and saying to myself, but this no look right. Let me drink some water and calm down, you see? No, I'm just saying that these athletes have agency as well. They are capable of making decisions as well. Folks talk about pulling an athlete out of a championships like it's just another race to them. No, everybody knows what it means to these athletes to run. You know what I mean? Just the honor and the glory. But it's they're kids, you know what I mean? Or they're young adults. This is where you step in and save them from themselves. You know what I mean? You have to be able to save these athletes from themselves, because at the end of the day, what are we in it for? The long haul or just the present glory, right? So if we're looking at it from the present glory mindset, okay, go for it, win the championships, right? But then if you're looking for it for years to come, to say, okay, you could be XYZ in a few years, join certain leagues and certain ranks, then you start to plan ahead and say, okay, maybe we can sit this one out for the bigger picture, right? But who knows? Um, if you're not healthy, you can't run 10-7. That's like having your cake and eating it. They are just being greedy, running these young girls, young people like slaves. Honestly, Michael Johnson tweet about Julian today. No, I didn't see it. What was the tweet? Can you share the link so I can see it? While you're doing that, let me just jump back into these big. All right, so guys, I'm finished with the big. What was it? The SECs. Let's jump over to the Pac-12. I don't even remember who is in the Pac-12, but somebody there in the Pac-12 I did see. So we're just gonna jump straight into Pac-12 so that I can talk about them. Um, real quick. I don't remember who is here, but we're just gonna be looking at it. Preliminaries. Okay, Saturday. Wait, did this finish Saturday or Sunday? Saturday? Sunday. Okay, so this was a Sunday thing. All right. What schools am I looking out for? I don't know. I know which athlete I'm looking for when I see the school. Oh, this is where we have my guide here. So I need to look in the 100 for the men. A US team going, not sure. All right, let me go back. Yes, I need to look for the 100 meters for the men. I think he goes to USC. His name is slipping me right now, but 100 meter there. Okay. So 100 meters, Travis Williams. Okay, here we go. So Travis Williams finished fifth, and he ran at 10.16 seconds, in the men's 100 meters. I don't know if he runs the two, but I can always check. These athletes tend to double, right? So let me see. I know there's some other people here in Pac-12. I would say in Pac-12. There's some other people here in Pac-12. I'm just gonna be looking at the schools because I can tell based on the schools who I'm looking for. Um. Oh, I was coming off the 200 meters. Well, he's not in the two. Okay. All right. There's somebody. There has to be somebody else. Let me see. There is somebody else that I'm looking for here. It's not just Travis. Um. Gosh. Oh, this is where Oregon is. Oregon is where my guy there runs to. Not sure. Maybe he didn't make it to the finals. Young guy from Wolmer's. I used to go to Wolmer's, I think. Wolmer's in used to go to? Yeah. Um Women's two. Women's one. Who am I looking for? Is it the 800-meter men? There's somebody I'm looking for here. No. I don't know who I'm looking for here. But at least I found Travis Truckis. I'm not gonna spend too long here, because I don't even know who I'm looking for. I just remember seeing something or seeing checking it and seeing the Jamaicans, and I'm like, okay, cool. But now I don't remember which Jamaican I saw where, unfortunately. All right, let me move on from that one. Okay, let's jump over to the Big Ten. We had Rihanna Phipps for Big Ten, and she won the women's triple jump. Um, so that's a win here. She jumped 13.40 meters, and that was a personal best for her. Right. So that, again, Rihanna Phipps there. Um, what else do we have? Is this the men's 800? Rivaldo. Okay, so Rivaldo Marshall was in the men's 800 meters and he placed fourth and he ran 1 minute 48.54 seconds. So that's the men's 800 meters. Um, okay. Now I'm a little bit lost because I swear I saw some more Jamaicans, but I don't remember where I saw them, or at least in which conference I saw them. So now I'm a little bit confused. I'm a little confused right now. But anyway, I'm closing. I don't think we have anybody else in Big. This is what? Big 10. So I'm closing Big 10. If I miss anybody, guys, I apologize. It's not done on purpose. You know what I mean? I'm just trying to get through this. Conference USA Championships. I think this is where we have yeah, because she goes to UTEP, right? So this is where we have Nisha Berger. Um yeah, so Nisha Berger took the 100 meters and she ran at 11.06 seconds. This was a personal best. Why are they not saying personal best right here? Anyway, should say personal best, I believe. So that's a personal best for her in the women's 100 meters. And then she was in the two as well, and she won that, running at 22.44 seconds. Again, personal best for her there. Now, any other Jamaicans anywhere else that I'm missing? Men's two. I think is this Xavier Butler Jamaican? No, I don't think so. Child, look here. I'm not about to do this right now because right now I feel like I'm confused. Guys, look here. If I miss anybody, I apologize. But I think this is probably where I'm gonna wrap up um this because now I don't remember who was where and who was doing what, unfortunately. And why am I in Mountain West? Which schools them in the right here, so? San Jose, New Mexico. Which Jamaicans we have got them at school, yeah? I don't think we have no Jamaicans got them school, yeah? I don't think so. These colleges don't stick out to me. But I know I opened it for a reason. I may have found the one Jamaican someplace, but now I don't remember. So unfortunately, it is what it is. So guys, that is it. That is it. Um, he tweeted about 5 athletes who he thinks future. What? He tweeted about 5 athletes who he thinks future, including Julian. Okay, what about their future? I don't follow. LSU have not won SEC for years. They needed every point. Oh, I get what you're saying. No, I don't agree with it, but I get what you're saying. Um, is Michael a critic? He's an analyst. He works for what's it called? BBC commentary analyst. Anything? I don't know what whichever hat you want to give him, but yeah. Um, so did T get to see Shakiri? No, she was on the opposite side of where I was sitting, unfortunately. So I didn't get to see her. I did see all the videos of her though and so forth. So yeah. As a matter of fact, in the stadium, they couldn't even find which part she did there. It was interesting that they found her on. It's interesting that they found her on TV. So when I saw the snippet on TV, you know that they showed on TV, they picked her where she was. But in the stadium, then they don't know which part she did there. So you know, like how you have the big board and you can show where the athletes are. She don't know which part she did. They don't know which part she did there. So we didn't see her on big screen like people that were watching TV saw her. Um, Yeah, I saw that video as well. I saw her with Stephen Francis and Paul Francis. Um yes, guys, please hit the like. See, just so you know where I stand, I'm not in favor of our elite athletes going the college route if they intend to make tracks a profession. They just have to go right to the pro setup. Honestly, Nolan, different strokes, different folks, different strokes. You know what I mean? What worked for someone else may not work for that person. You know what I mean? So I'm not the person that's gonna say don't go to college. I'm also famously known for saying get the bag. So if you're getting the bag, sure, take the bag. But not everybody has that opportunity to get the bag, right? And college is the next step, right? So I don't have a problem with our athletes going to college. I have a problem with our athletes being run to the ground, yes, but I don't have a problem with them going to college. I mean, most of them only have the college route, to be fair. Only a handful or a select few get the opportunity to go pro. You know what I mean? So with that said, college for sure. Which college track is, I wouldn't be able to say, because again, different folks, different strokes. It may work for some persons and it may not work for somebody else. You know what I mean? And unfortunately, we can't see in the future to say, oh, you know what, down the line this is gonna happen. So what? You know what? To prevent that or to circumvent that, let's go elsewhere. You know what I mean? You can never really say what's going to happen. So you just have to take the risks, take the chances, and go for it. Some in life, and see if it works out. At the end of the day, I'm praying that it works out for athletes. I only want the best for them. You know what I mean? But I'm not gonna sit here and say, "Oh, leave college or don't go to college." That would be crazy. You know what I mean? So yeah, I don't think going to college is a problem. For sure. Um, but I know it's their preference entirely. Only 60 likes, 100 and people watching. Guys, come on, hit the like, hit the like. Up in your hometown. Out of his mercy, out of my hometown, sir. She go up in a Shelly hometown. I guess Shelly's. Who else lives up in maybe Elaine and Sherry, because they all live in town probably now. So no, in my hometown, she come. Oh my God, is it their choice? What do you mean? This is not the news we want to hear, but I heard Elaine is in shape like last year. She lacks work and unfit. Very sad. Please wish her the best. Where did you hear that news, Nicola? Did you mention Anika Wilson and the others? Yeah, I talked about the ACC. That's the first conference I covered. Um, that's why I said elite. Okay, but again, not everybody elite. Look at our best athletes that we have now. Where did they start? Only. Maybe you say both. You wouldn't say, really showed promise. Maybe a Sharika Jackson showed promise from high school. Nobody never know about Shelly at high school. Nobody never know about Ilian Worse. You know what I mean? So we can't really say that. You know what I mean? So yeah. The college route is definitely the next route for all these athletes. The problem to me is just that, I guess, the college and the coaching program, the program that you're going into. I think that's the most important thing to consider. But yeah. Um, TXC, you're here when the announcer was talking about Elaine and Shelley, when he said he talked to Walcott about them not opening up the season yet, and he said the coach Walcott timing his timing to pick them at the right time. No, I didn't hear that. I didn't hear when they said that. Unfortunately, Brianna was elite. No, I'm not saying she wasn't elite, guys. Guys, I'm just saying only a handful of athletes are considered elite. And at the end of the day, I don't necessarily have a problem with going to college. I'm one that will say yes, get the bag if it's been offered to you. But if you choose to go to college, I will not fault you, because it's also the other route. You know what I mean? And this route most people take. Um, Tyrese Roden. Yeah, I touched on ACC already, guys. So I touched on Tyrese Roden winning the 800 meters, running a personal best. The next step for him is to hopefully get to the qualifying mark to get to the World Championships, and that's like 144, a second off his time. He needs to drop a whole second to hopefully qualify. Um, there is money in college these days. Yes, yes, there's money as well. Um, Again, Nolan, I get what you're saying, but I will still say different stroke, different folks, different strokes. You know what I mean? So I won't say all elite athletes have to go pro right off the bat. No, because it may not work for all of them. That's what I'm saying. So I'm not saying I don't get what you're saying. I'm saying I don't agree. So guys, we're finished with the conference roundup. Thank the Lord. I was getting an hernia. I'm touching my head, and I'm saying I'm getting an hernia. Anyway, we're moving on to the Jamaica Invitational. All right. So I had an interesting experience, and I'm glad I went, because it made me understand my role, and my role is not sitting in the stands watching no race. That's not my role. I'm a commentator. I do commentary. I analyze races. And unfortunately, sitting in the stands, one, I have to be bobbing and weaving to even see the race. You know what I mean? And two, I was recording as well. And when you're recording, you're so focused on trying to hold, the device recording, that you're only following the winner. So you don't really see what else is happening in the race. So I watched the whole meet not knowing what happened. I don't even know how that happened. And I just remember just being frustrated at the end of the day, because I was like, other than who won, maybe who placed second, I really didn't know what was going on. So I just had to rewatch, the tapes to see what happened. And I'm like, yeah, this is not for me. I'm gonna make sure that even if I'm going to the meets going forward, like, I'd have somebody there probably recording or something, so that I have the freedom to visually open my eyes and see all the athletes on the track and just catch those moments in time. You know what I mean? Because I'm not the type of person that likes to rewatch a race. I like to catch it live. I think when you catch it live, if it's different from when you rewatch it. You know what I mean? So even though I caught it live again, I didn't get to experience really, watching the race like I would typically watch it. So I think I won't be doing what I did before again. So I'll probably just have somebody recording with me, so that I can have the freedom to see what I need to see from all of the athletes present, as well. Um the opportunity to speak to the athletes as well. That's something that I need to make sure that I tap into as well. So again, it was great for me getting my foot wet, because now I kind of understand again which where it is that I fit in. You know what I mean? And also interestingly, so I got myself all zhuzhed up, makeup done up and something and something. Leave my yard literally it was storming where I live. Left my house, so I put a jacket on. Well, I took it off when I got to the car, but anyway. So long story short is I left my yard in the rain, reached Kingston, and I'm like, okay, let me put my jacket on back, because I saw my dress for come, so I need to make sure that everything work. And it took me maybe 10-15 minutes to get inside the stadium. And I just remember when I got inside the stadium, all my makeup melted off my face. Everything melted off my face. I was burning up. I remember that I said I had on a jacket. It's like me never know where me I go. I like me never know say a Jamaica this. I like me never know. It's like me never know what I go on out to do. Let's just put it this way. I had no idea what kind of heat I was walking into in Kingston, right? I just imploded, and I bursted in fire, right? And yeah, my makeup melted off, and what, because I'm in this white jacket. So now I look at the white jacket and there's makeup covered all over the thing, and I'm looking at it and I'm like, does this get any worse? You know what I mean? Does it get any worse? But anyway, I had fun. Long story short is I had fun. I got to meet a few trackies, took a few pictures, and yeah, it was fun. But the biggest thing I learned is, one, don't play with the sun in town. Or no, it's not the sun. Cause when we reached, there was no sun. Don't play with the heat in Kingston, right? And two, obviously now I understand where I factor, and it's not sitting in the stands, recording no race. No, that's not for me, right? So yeah, I didn't get to see any of the races how I wanted to see them, or enjoy them how I wanted to see them, unfortunately. And I didn't understand that until I was in the position to realize, oh snap. You know what I mean? I've gone to the stadium already, watched races, but I've never been recording. So because I'm never recording, I'm sitting on and I'm enjoying and analyzing what I see going on around me. But recording is like your last. I don't know how people record and see what going in a race, but you're not see nothing. May I tell you right now, you're not see nothing. So with that said, let's get into the performances over the weekend, because I know I said that's gonna come from me. I left Julian Forte for last, because that's really what I want to talk about. So, and I know y'all want to talk about Brianna Williams, because I see somebody asking me about Brianna Williams. So yeah, we're gonna be talking about everything that happened. I got to rewatch the races, as I said. I have thoughts, and I'm gonna share them. Where is that window? What is this? Where there, guys? I don't know where I'm at now. I'm trying to find the window with the results. I need to find the results first. And that's another thing. When you're in the stadium, you don't know the results. You don't know the results. You know what I mean? They may announce the winner, second place, third place, but you don't know the results for everybody else. And that's another thing that frustrated me because I just didn't know the results. And I'm like, oh my God, what happened here? You know what I mean? So I was lost for the most part watching the meet. It was the wildest thing. Can somebody tell me why Alana can't seem to go sub 11 since that time? What are you talking about? How many people have gone sub 11 since season? How many Jamaicans have gone sub 11? One. And Brianna Liston just gone weekend. And that's because she was prepped for that championship, right? The athlete that you're talking about, Alana Reed, trials is coming up the other month. So her fastest should come at trials and then after that. Um Hey Namdi, what's up? Very happy for Kemba. I see her making another global team this year. Um, I mean, let me get into that 100 meters when I get there because I don't know. There's so many 100-meter girls, and I don't want to lie to y'all. I'm not. I don't want to lie to y'all. Unless something is wrong with Shelly, Elaine, and Sharika, I don't see anybody making it into that 100 meters. Unless something is wrong with them, as I said, then sure, no problem. But for me, that team is sewn up. The only other option is the 200 meters, but that's pretty much looking sewn up too, in terms of they have the how fast some of these athletes are running. You know what I mean? So again, I'm not really sure from a relay perspective. Even that is looking sticky because I see so much different girl we are running at the same little ranks, the same little level, and you're saying it could be any one of these people. So I'm not even sure at this particular point. To be fair, um, see, I can't believe I never saw you. Keisha, you never see me put on me outside link up. I put that on the channel. You shouldn't text me. I know it's so funny. A few people were sitting literally right next to me. I was so surprised. I was so surprised. Um, Alana is very young. I don't know why we put so much pressure on her. Why you are not what? When you're not seasoned, you will be inconsistent. Let's give her more time. Yeah, but we're saying why she hasn't gone in sub 11 like we have a bunch of people rattling off sub 11s. Just look at it. No, guys. No, like on a serious note, just look at track and field right now and tell me who are run fast. Who has really been running fast? Other than if you look at collegiate them out there, and that's because they're currently going through their collegiate season. Just like how you have, the juniors when it's around champ stand, them I run fast. Same thing with the collegiate them, and them all want to run fast. Nobody else not run fast. Well, then again, let me not say that because Kenny Benerick really did an awesome 200 meters recently. You know what I mean? But we can't really say that there are much people really out there, banging out crazy fast times. No, we don't see that. Um, T, you look so good though. I saw you in a video. Someone posted it on Twitter. Send me the link, the Are you serious? I'm on Twitter and I don't even know I'm on Twitter. But anyway, thanks for telling me I look nice. I look fat though, guys. I swear to you. And my next aim leaving that meet was I need to join the gym. I need to lose at least 10 pounds. I'm way too fat. You guys have made me sit here and get fat. And it's not cool. Um Jeans and t-shirt is fine for those. No, I had on a turtleneck. I had on a turtleneck. It didn't have on no sleeve. So I had on a black turtleneck. No, it was sleeveless. And I had on a shorts. I'm a shorts girl, so I'm always wearing shorts. That's what I wore. And then I had on the jacket because, again, as I said, it was raining when I was leaving my house. And then it kind of matched the look too. It did look cool. So I said, okay, let's go in with a swag. Make them know some tea is tea. Tea going to go flop herself. I don't understand why we're so impatient with the young athletes. Yes, I think we're very impatient, I have to say. Um and we need to talk more about Brenna Liston and Nikisha Price too. More so Nikisha and what is more to come. LOL. Manchester is a different place. Remember, Misty and Mandy for 1 week. Play school and foggy and feel depressing. Yeah, because let me tell you something about Manchester people. It look like them go to do it. And they're so boring. Like I remember when we got back to Mandeville, I think going up to 12. And Mandeville was pretty much locked down. This is a big, big Saturday, and Mandeville already locked down. Going up to 12. Like it was a ghost town. It was crazy because I was trying to get some food because I didn't eat any food, because on the way up, I was rushing to get up because there was so traffic. I said, we not stop and eat nothing. Then when we left the place, we said, we not eat no roadside food because we don't know what in the roadside food. Because you remember the crab lady, everybody remembers the crab incident. And, we're kind of, skeptical about the street food, right? So we're like, okay, when we get to some place we can eat, reach back a Mandeville, everywhere lock up. Me have to go my belly with me, go my bed with my belly hungry. Um, it was announced that the scoreboard was not working, hence the audience did not see the results. Oh, cause me I sit on there, I wondered to myself, what going? Cause me no know nothing what going into the race, them guys. I was just crazy, just sitting there wondering, like, where am I? What is happening? I was lost. I'm telling you, I was lost. Um, okay, Elaine is already in. Hmm? When in the stadium it's low, you can't make much of the angle you are at. A lot of times the big moments will pass over you. Look here, other than who won the race, I don't know what was going on. Remember a 2 years since she went sub 11. What you talk about? Alana last year, Alana got sub 11. Which 2 years? Last year, Alana left champs, Big up Pristine, what's up? Um I heard someone saying that athletes are getting slower, but we'll see. You know what I heard, and I don't know if not go so, but I don't know if you guys didn't know, but World Athletics has started this new drug testing where they're now having blood work done. So they take your blood work and it better months are back. So maybe even from last year. I don't know when they started this, but it's been a while they started it, right? And you better make sure say your blood imprint or whatever it is match when it come to whenever they might test you each and every time. So I hear that the athletes are running scared because of it, and that's why everybody's slow. Honestly, I'm praying to God not to go so because as I said, we're experiencing a glory period. I mean, I want to go back at zero. You know what I mean? Because right now we're at 100 and we're enjoying the 100. I want to go back at zero with everybody everyone slow again because it's. I don't think it's going to be as exciting because it's going to be so sudden and abrupt. Everybody's going to be lost. You know what I mean? So I'm hoping that nothing goes so. But they must say something goes so. I don't know. I don't know if that's why everybody is getting slow. Fabulous and melting. Guys, I melted all over my, I swear to you. I want another thing. It seems makeup is a no-no. So I have to make sure that I tell you all the while, that the skin isn't as flawless as it looks in the makeup, yeah? So I just need to make sure I get my skin on fleek. I don't wear makeup when I'm walking around, in Mandeville Town, actually. But if I'm like going out, then I'll wear it. But child, makeup is not for town either. I don't know why. I don't know how some people had it on, but I was melted. I was like an ice cream. T, give me your thoughts on Brianna Williams. I just won't give you my thoughts on her. Maybe we'll see a 1090 Shakiri. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. No, no, never mind. Um, Shakiri has been under pressure from commercials and Cardi B looking for her at Paris. A lot of hype and pressure on her. And she have time for you follow back up, who come to Jamaica go watch, who run. Oh please. If she was so stressed and pressured, she wouldn't dare yada train. She wouldn't have time to take plane and come to Jamaica, come watch who run. After read, I saw the video with you, T. I even went on coach's live stream and asked if him see you. LOL. Really? Who posted the video with me? Are you serious? Um no, guys, send me the link now so I can see it. Jeez, honestly, so anyway, let me jump into these results now. What I want to talk about. Let me share my screen again. Where's the stream? Share my screen. Share my screen. Present. Share screen. Okay, so we're gonna get into these results now. Let me start from the bottom. What them have done here, so. Women triple jump. So Shanika Ricketts wins, jumping 14.50 meters, into a positive 0.6 meters per second win. I was actually shocked that Thea LaFond didn't jump better, considering that she jumped over 15 meters indoors this season. But again, let's see as the season progresses. She's one of those people that don't have to worry about, having to go to a trials and all these shenanigans just to get to the Olympic Games. She'll be going. Let's see. Jasmine Moore, since she's gone pro, hasn't really looked like the Jasmine Moore that we saw in college, but it takes a while, I suppose, or maybe a couple of years to really transition. She went pro last year, or well, let me not say last year because I really this year. I just for that season, yeah, so far, right? So maybe we won't see the best of Jasmine Moore this season. Maybe we'll see the best of her next season. But Jasmine Moore, not looking like herself as I've said. Um Okay, so the 400-meter hurdles. Guys, I didn't get to touch this on my preview because for some strange reason I didn't see the start list for these. But Rochelle Clayton takes the win, running 53.72 seconds. And what I love about Rochelle, she's a gladiator. You see, when it's time to run, she puts on like a game face and she just runs a phenomenal race. And I was impressed as well seeing Anna Carquito come back. What I would say is that Rochelle has to make sure that she evenly distributes her race in terms of pacing, right? So you don't want to go out too hard and then be slowing down too much in the home stretch. It was still enough for her to win, but I just want her to be mindful of that. So if you're going to be sprinting from gun to tape, then you have to make sure you're distributing the race evenly, right? Anna Cockrell, I think Anna Cockrell had a more even distribution and she ended up running at 53.76 seconds. Cheyenne Solomon was there and she was third. She ran 54.57 seconds. Anjanette Knight was also there, 55.33. Genevieve Russell was there, 55.82. Dalila. Not gonna lie, I don't know if this is the beginning of the end for Dalila, because y'all know that Dalila is like a Sydney in the sense that when she has always come out, she's always come out fast. And I just realized that in recent years she has gotten slower and slower. It's gonna be tough for Dalila to make the team to the Olympic Games. I'm not gonna lie, because when you look at again Sydney McLaughlin Leveroni and the same Anna Cockrell, what's my bald head girl name? She's in the conversation. I don't know which race Britain is running, but if Britain decides to run the hurdle, she's also in the conversation. You know what I mean? So it's gonna be tough for Delilah, but let's see. Geneve. You know what? I wouldn't say I'm so concerned about Geneve because she did this to me last year, I think. So anyway, let's see. And this is our first run, right? I think this is our first run in the hurdles. I think so. So let's see how the times progress, as we get closer to the trials. I'm hoping though that based on this weekend, or what I'm hoping to see is that after this weekend, I'm just going to be seeing the Jamaicans more frequently on the circuit, because this is where you're going to have to start getting the times down by, getting that race sharpness in, running more races. That's how you're going to sharpen yourself, right? So I'm expecting to see the likes of Genevieve Russell and all these other athletes run more frequently anywhere. I don't care where, just be someplace running. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm looking forward to seeing, post this particular meeting. So that by the time we get to trials, everybody's ready. Because honestly, I just want them to be ready. I don't want to see any heartbreak, honestly. And I know there's gonna be heartbreak because there's only three people that can make the team. You know what I mean? But you see, when you're expected to be part of the three and then you're not in the three, I think it hits different from when you're not expected to be in it and you don't make it. You know what I mean? But anyway, um. Oh, see her here too. Shamir Little. What me I talk about? Oh, Shamir Little run so bad. She was in this race. 58 point 73. I walk on as Sophie Shamir. But not even realize. You see what I'm talking about, guys? But I don't know nothing what happening at the race them. Nothing at all. All right, so let's head on over to the women's 100-meter hurdles. I liked this race. Oh, and another thing, guys, I saw that some people hitting out on my choices for the wins, but interestingly, I think I only missed one win, and that was the 400-meter women race where I went clutch and I said Stacy over Alexis, but Alexis won. Stacy was a bit further down. I think that's the only race I didn't call correctly, but I pretty much called them right. Anyway, so Toby walks out with the win, running a world leading 12.40 seconds, and Danielle Williams finishes second. I had her third, and she runs 12.46 seconds. No, Danielle, I don't know if you guys noticed, but she's been getting a very good start, when she was executing her races. Like on those circuit runs, you see her, but she tends to fade towards the end of the race, right? But what we've noticed is that she's kind of been rocking back, you would say, and not necessarily leaning forward when she's coming off the hurdles. Yeah, I think that's how you say it, right? So with that said, um what Danielle seemed to do much better in this race was execute her race in terms of when she's, going over the hurdles, she's leaning forward and not necessarily standing tall, or she has this kind of rock back sometimes where she comes off the hurdle and she's actually stands up straight. You know what I mean? And is not necessarily tilting into, the next attempt. Guys, I'm not a coach. I'm not really technical with it, but I'm hoping that you understand what I'm saying. But she was able to execute that particular part of her race much better this time around, and hence the placing much better. She didn't lose ground that much to Toby Amerson. Remember, Toby Amerson is the world record holder, and she's not, the world record holder for nothing. So Danielle losing to her for me is not necessarily a bad thing. Her running 12.4 for me, 6 was awesome, and I especially love their execution. As I said, much stronger finish than we've seen in her last couple outings in China. So yeah, Danielle Williams is coming for sure at these Jamaican Championships. She's making sure that she makes her first individual Olympic team, and I'm happy for her. Christina Clemens was there. She finished third, 12:54. I thought Nia Ali would have paced higher. She ran 12:65, but Yannick Thompson was also there. She ran at 12:59. Yannick. Can I even tell you, I've been waiting for Yannick for years. I have been waiting for Yannick for years. You know what I mean? She's also one of those athletes that I think have this weird hurdling technique, and I don't think they've been able to fix it over the years. And I always thought that if they fixed it, she'd have been so much better. She also stands up when she off the hurdles again, and she also has this weird whipping foot action, right? But for some strange reason, she has managed to get faster, and I'm hoping that there's still faster to come, because she's always been a phenomenal hurdler from, high school days, clearly. So I'm glad seeing her coming to her own and being able to challenge the best in the world, because best believe this field had the best in the world, not all of them, but some of them, but it's still the best in the world. And placing fourth was a fantastic run from her. So yeah, big running from Yannick Thompson in this particular race. Okay, so women's 400 meters, as I said, Alexis Holmes took the win. Britton Brown was second. Naisha Robinson was third. Then we had Stacy fourth, running at 51.87. What did I think about Stacy's run? The first 200, she sprinted. She didn't have the legs to bring it home. Um, I don't want to say, it was a case where she couldn't manage the sprinting, because I've seen her do it before. I just think that it doesn't work this time around. You know what I mean? I just don't think it worked this time around. But how she executed it is how she wants to execute it if she wants to go sub 50, right? Sprint all the way from gun to tape, pretty much. That's the 400 meters. That's how Shawnee does it. That's how Salwa Idnasa does it. That's how Sydney does it. That's how all these people that are the top people in the 400-meter do it. You have to make sure that you're sprinting. You know what I mean? Even when we look at Nikisha Price recently, you know what I mean? She has been improving on her 200-meter personal best from the indoors. She's come outdoors and improved on that 200-meter personal best again. And you see how much it has helped her, And I think, what, her just getting stronger, it's not stronger, faster, sorry, over the 200 meters is what made her take down her teammates. Because think about it, go back to indoors. She was losing to, what's the British athlete name? She was losing to her, you know what I mean? But she's gotten faster than she has gotten. I think I think so. I think she's faster than her over the 200 meters, and as such, able to walk away with a win. So yeah, you need to be able to be a sprinter. I just think she didn't have the legs today to finish the race, but the execution is what she needs to be doing in terms of just sprinting from gut to tape. You know what I mean? But yeah, Stephanie was here. Stephanie has gotten faster. So she was at 53. I think the last time 52 here. So she's definitely rounding down more races. Ashley Williams was here, 52.18. Shana K. Anderson, 53.50. So the thing about Stephanie is that she has so much experience that she knows what it takes to get herself, in the right shape. You know what I mean? She suffered a setback last year, and I've just watched her race after race get faster and faster. It's happening slowly, but it's vivid that she's getting faster and faster. I think by the time trials rolls around, Stephanie will probably be in shape to contend for a spot. So the other girls definitely have to watch out, for sure. The only person that looks clear cut right now in my mind, I won't lie, is Nikisha Price. She definitely looks clear cut. Stacy looks like she has one hand on a spot, but she has to make sure that she executes perfectly on the day. She doesn't want to, go out gun blasting and not have the legs to take it home. You know what I mean? She definitely doesn't want that to happen. And I'm gonna touch on Lane in a bit, but I think our 400-meter field may widen because I'm thinking that Lane maybe stands a better chance in the four than she does in the two. That's probably where my thought process is going right now. Anyway, you guys can tell me what you think though. Um, I'm probably then again maybe not. Maybe our better chance is here. It's so confusing though because we have a few people that could come back in the two. Then again, maybe no, no, no. The two is probably her better spot. Forget what I just said. The two is probably her better opportunity to meet the team individually, and that's Lani. All right, so in the women's 200 meters, Dina Asher Smith takes the win. She was expected to win. She did that. I was interested seeing Jessica Bai, though, run down on her from Ivory Coast. She ran a 22.53. Look out for Jessica Bai for another reason as well. Ivory Coast relay team, that 4x1 team, a lot of people thinking that they're solely depending on Mary Jose Talu. No, I've been watching a few of these girls and they've been getting stronger and faster. The only one that probably has a little question marks over her head is Muriel Hori. She isn't what she used to be, let's put it that way, but these young athletes are really doing it big, in my opinion, right? So once they get practicing, because they had a lot of button issues, once they get practicing, that could be a team that will be threatening in the future for sure, especially threatening Great Britain. They could threaten Great Britain. Think about it, guys. They could definitely threaten Great Britain. You know what I mean? So Lani finished third, 22.84. When I think about Lani last year versus Lani now, she's definitely clearly much faster this year, right? So and stronger too, right? So hopefully by the time Charles comes around, we can see her much closer to sub 22, if not sub 22. Let's see though. Ashanti Moore is also running faster here than she did last year, so she could be in the conversation as well. She runs at 23 seconds on the nose here. Then there's Julian Williams, 23.19. Ronisha McGregor, 23.47, and Naisha Robinson. Didn't I say this Naisha Robinson? So I told you she won. 24.96. Then after you go run at the 400-meter, then you're almost tired. Anyway, let's go. Women's 100 meters. Ramona Burchell, 11:57. This is the B race. Positive 1.9 meters per second win. Shakura Wallace, 11.60. Janelle Smith, 11.68. Mikhail Moody, 11.79. Jewel Levy, 11.85. And Tatiana Pinto, 12.09. Okay, so for this wind, I would probably say I would have been expecting something faster. For sure. That's all I would say here. Based on how Ramona ran how she typically runs, I'm just thinking that based on the wind, it could have been a bit faster. Um, yeah, I don't really have much to say honestly on that particular run. Okay, let's get into the A final. Mari Jose Talu takes the win. I thought she would. Crystal Stoli was a surprise package here for sure. She ran at 11.09 seconds, a personal best for her. And now we're starting to say, has, Stephen Francis, unearthed another diamond? You know what I mean? It pretty much started out like this with Elaine Thompson here. I remember not last year, sorry, back in 2015, Elaine Thompson here, just came to the collegiate meets, ran a super fast time, was invited to run against, professionals, came out and defeated them. And then we're looking at the Crystal slowly, coming out and running at 11:09. And back then in 2009, though Elaine was faster, you know, this isn't a bad time for a collegiate at all. Definitely not a bad time. I mean, when you consider what Jamaican, sprinting looks like, it's still gonna be tough. But MVP has probably unearthed, something else here. It will be interesting to see how she's progressed because I'm not lie. I did hear that Shakura Wallace was next up a few years ago, and Shakira Wallace was down here in the B race running 11.60. So I'm not sure what's going on here. And sometimes, guys, I have to say, sometimes we blame the coaching, and it's actually the athletes and maybe their work ethic where they're falling off. Because I do hear sometimes that athletes are not working as hard as they should, and that's why they fall off. Some people don't want to hear the hard truth, but sometimes that's the case. You know what I mean? So let's see though what happens with Crystal Soley going forward. But I'm excited to see um, if she is going to be another, unearthed diamond for MVP. Cameron Nelson was here running at 11.12. I would say that's a good run for her. Jamima Joseph from France 11.15. Alana Reed 11.24. Again, I do think Alana is kind of struggling a little bit in terms of her knee. I did see some strapping on it, so I'm not sure if she's 100%, right? So I think this is pretty competent for Alana and Tia as well, 11.24. So same time, I guess, separated by the thousandths of a second. And Brianna Williams was seventh, running 11.39. Now I know everybody wants to talk about Brianna and have some random stuff to say, but this is what I'm gonna say. Going into this race, my thought process for Brianna was getting a season's best. She has achieved that. She ran at 11.39. She came out one race prior. She's only has two races under her belt, one prior to this. So she went from 11.54 to 11.39. That's improvement, a season's best. But something else I noticed in this race, she didn't get the start. So remember I talked about her in that 11.4554 race, sorry. And I talked about her, her start, came along, and I was advised as well that, what, Brianna has definitely been working on making sure that she is able to execute the way she typically has been able to, and also still work on the final phases of her race, right? So she was able to do that the week prior. Was it the week prior? Yeah, the week prior, right? So she comes into this week. However, she doesn't get that start. But what I noticed is that the lane 7 outside of her was empty. So I don't know if she just got, lost, in a sense where got a slow start because she was so disconnected from the pack because she was one lane out. I was hoping that they would have put her closer to the field. And another thing that kind of made me feel like, she really just got a bad start was because in the race for me she felt like she was reaching, like that's not how she typically runs. But I feel like throughout the whole race I was watching her, she was leaned a whole lot forward, more forward than she runs, I would say. So I felt like she was just reaching, trying to get back clearly, but she wasn't able to get back. But long story short, after a bad start, not being in it because she was outside on lane 8. Lane 7 was empty. I think this was a good run from her. Again, I was expecting a season's best. She gave me the season's best. Clearly not a good run in terms of how she executed it. That's not what I'm saying, because I did think she got a bad start, right? But I'm saying she's improving how I thought she would be improving. I thought she'd have given me an 11.2 actually. Yeah, she gave me an 11.39. If she had gotten a better start, I would have definitely seen her giving me an 11.2. And again, this is only two races under her belt. So when I see people talking about what is it, Brianna? I don't know what some people were saying. Honestly, guys, sometimes you just have to be a little bit, a bit more patient, right? She has switched camps again, so it's everything is starting over, new for her. Her whole season has been disrupted again, so we definitely have to be a bit more patient when it comes to Brianna. Just like how we're patient with everybody else. I don't see anybody grumbling that Tia was running 11.2, Alana was running 11.2, but y'all are just grumbling about Brianna, and I just can't understand why everybody's just grumbling about Brianna. When I see, look at the B race, everybody was running, as a matter of fact, Brianna's seventh place was better than first place in the B race. You know what I mean? So I don't even know why everybody's grumbling about Brianna. You know what I mean? I just feel like you just guys just want to complain because she is Brianna and not just give her, a little bit. Just be a bit more patient with her. You know what I mean? She's working, guys. She's working hard. Sometimes things don't really work as smoothly as we want them to work, or just because we snap our fingers and say, it's gonna work. That's not how things go. So we just have to give the girls some time, and hopefully they'll be able to get better, and get back to where they were, and even get better than that, right? But definitely be patient. As I said, I've seen improvement. I got what I want. I wanted a season's best, and I got a season's best. So I'm not complaining. You know what I mean? There's definitely improvement. And you know what? I saw the technical issue based on how she started her race. So in my opinion, she could have gone faster if she had executed a bit better. You know what I mean? So for me, that's a up. You have to take the positives, guys. You can't just look at last place and say, oh, she finished last. The whole it's over. You know what I mean? You have to take things into perspective. And I think that, based on what I was expecting going in, I think she achieved that. The execution wasn't on point clearly, but she achieved a faster run. Her second race in, let's see how much, she improves as the races go. And yeah, I don't want to spend too much time talking about Brianna because, there's so much happening with so many other athletes like Crystal slowly that, we should be excited and happy about, but y'all just want to focus on other things, unfortunately. You know what I mean? Um, where am I? Okay, there's so much comments. I don't know where I'm at. Um, see what happened to my sidekick. My sister doesn't live in Jamaica. Um, I don't know where we are. I don't know where I was in the comments. I'm lost. Non-track related, but I'm hearing the AI that is added to our devices and apps such as WhatsApp and other is also a recorder that they. Oh, I mean, I hear that they've been tapping into people's phones for years, so I wouldn't be surprised. Who did Shakira follow to Jamaica? If you don't know, me no know. If Shelly don't open by June, then something is wrong. I'm expecting to see these athletes come out. It's May. I'm expecting to see them in the coming weeks. For sure. Hey, Chuck Universe, what's up? Oral drop a post praising Shakira and showing her in the bleachers, taking photos with fans, no big up, saying no big up Jamaican wasn't doing that in the bleachers. Well, that's a fact. That is a fact. We can't say that's not true. It's rumored that Shakira is dating Christian Coleman. She has been everywhere Christian Coleman is competing to show her support. Then T, what happened to your other sidekick? She doesn't live in Jamaica. Um, you always and you always enjoy your perspective on the athlete's performance. Very knowledgeable and attractive host. One love. Thank you. Um, Aura said Elaine has broken down again. Watch out, help. Genevieve and Mohammed always show up at the trials. That they do. I thought Shakira was a or my or she. Okay, let's stop this Shakira. What am I talking? Why has the conversation turned to this in my comments? When Shamir reached on the home stretch, she just start jog. Okay, guys, as I said, I didn't get to rewatch the 400-meter hurdles, unfortunately, but I didn't see anything that happened in the race other than who won. So yeah, and I did see clearly. I'm gonna see what happened with second place because I did see her running down, on our athlete there. So yeah, I didn't see what was going on in most of the. Well, not most, all of the races. I don't know what did I go on. Nice run from Daniel. Yes, Daniel did run really good. Um, Oh yeah, I did see Ditaji Kambunji. Yep, Ditaji Kambunji is looking good. I have been noticing her. T, have you have no idea when the big three is opening up their season? No, I don't. But guess what? We're getting down to crunch time. We have to see them. My expectation is to see them in May. You know what I mean? We're now at May 13th. Next week. How many weeks are left? How many Saturdays are left? So we have this weekend. So only 2 Saturdays are left. This weekend, next weekend, so I need to be seeing them. You know what I mean? Um, Yeah, Ditaji Kombunji has definitely come on. Gregory Horton did a panel with some of his former 4x4 teammates, and they gave some great perspective about why the team did not qualify for the Olympics. Have to go watch. We are worried for the athlete. Sharika is at 11:03. Shakiri is nowhere. Elaine is nowhere. Shelly can't be found. What really are going to that Olympic year? Yeah. All we are talk of fantastic times. Um, a season to remember. We haven't been seeing anything to really tell us that we are gonna have a season to remember, and it's just based on their past achievements. To be honest, Lord of His mercy, I'm hoping that we get something good. Amasan came from all the way from last to win. I actually expected her to win. That's how she typically runs. When she broke the world record, though, she had a better start. So I'm thinking that as they get closer to the Olympics, that they will be fixing that start. But she's always had an amazing top end speed. Um, Yannick was always injured from a junior. I think it's how she flings her leg because it's the same leg that she flings. She has a way of, I don't want to say fling, but she kind of snaps it. And how she snaps it, it's like I can stay from behind the screen and feel the snap. She kind of just whips it around. And I'm like, that feels like you're injuring yourself because that feels way too hard. Like it doesn't feel like a smooth motion of bringing her leg around. You know what I mean? And I know they talk about in the hurdles, you snapping, right? But it's not the type of snapping. The type of snapping that she's doing is like she's just whipping the leg, like whip, whip. I'm like, that feels like it hurts. You know what I mean? And it's the same leg that she's always injures as well. The same knee is the same knee that she's always injuring. So I've always, thought there was something that they needed to fix from a technical perspective there. They haven't fixed it, but I'm glad that she's getting faster because I wanted her to be one of those athletes that made the transition. Um, had to leave and come back. All right, welcome back. Is that still the SEC's tea? Me don't know. Me done with the college. Oh my gosh. Can't believe I thought Stacy would have run 50.1 when I saw how she got out ahead. I thought she was interested to run. No, no, I thought she died. I don't think she was interested to run through. I thought she died. I think she again going based on the previous run, she wanted to execute the same run, right? It just didn't work for her today. I just think well not today, Saturday. I just don't think it worked for her. But she's going to have to run like that if you want to figure. You know what I mean? If you want to figure, you have to run like that. You have to run the full 400 meters. You know what I mean? Because even the winner, what was the time? Time was 50 point something 50 points. Where was it? 50 points. Oh, that's the hurdles. Oh, where I'm gone. Wait, four. Okay, here we are. 50.31. She definitely wanted to go faster than she's gone what 50.7 so far this season. She definitely wants to go faster than that for sure. So that's how you have to run. But I just don't think she had the legs to bring it home. Um, why we not talk about oral Tracy? Why are y'all talking about oral Tracy? Okay, what has oral Tracy said? Make us see what not talk about. Where's the video about Elaine injured again? Me not see that. Guys, I don't see that. Um Hey Julius, good night. Um I think McPherson will come back. I see her slowly but surely come back. Or I'll say breathe twang too much. Not in business to worry about that. You see me, guys. Honestly, I don't let I don't care about certain things. To be honest, I don't care about how you want to speak. I'm not here for that. I don't care who you want to date. I don't care about none of those things. I only care about the track and field. Yes, in off season you may see me say, "Hey, I saw somebody on the beach and oh, they looked good," or whatever the case is, or yada yada yada. But the reality is, I couldn't care give a hootie scoots about athletes having a life outside of track and field, or athletes just being human or just doing whatever they want to do. Like, I'm not here for that. So whoever you want to speak, you speak. You know what I mean? If you with the American accent, kudos to you. If it's with a Jamaican accent, kudos to you. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna be talking about those things because I honestly don't care. Um, so you notice Sherika and Elaine stop opening with 400-meter races, them gone straight to the 100 meters nowadays. Okay, so something I noticed, I don't know about Stephen Francis, right? Because um he's a scientist, right? And he'll come up with anything, at any particular point to get his athletes ready, and we just have to relearn his methodology, whatever, his new methods, right? So when it comes to Walcott, though, what I've noticed with him is that I don't recall seeing Shelly run any fours. I don't recall seeing Shelly run any twos. But Shelly has come out and run at sub 20 two in the 200 meters off the back of what? Whatever she was doing in training, because we never see it on the track prior to her doing it. You know what I mean? So I'm saying this to say, I think Ronaldo has, unlocked something where he's able to train these athletes, behind closed doors and get them to achieve what he needs them to achieve before they even touch the track. You know what I mean? I've seen that with Shelly time and time again. Separate and apart from when she's injured, clearly that's a whole different kettle of fish. But I've seen her come out, and I'm wondering, so where are these warm up races that were needed? We didn't see her needing any of those. Where's all this background work? These all these 400-meter runs that she was supposed to be doing. Wasn't seeing all of that, yet she was able to come out and do all of these fantastic times in 200 meters. Clearly, he is doing something there in background training with her. You know what I mean? Clearly. Um, Elaine will leave Elite by the end of the season. Lord of mercy. What going on, Nicola? T, does that not mean they do not run 400 at training? No, they have to be doing it. That's what I'm saying. They have to be doing it at training. So not because you're not seeing it on the track, no means that they not do it. And I said, it feels like Ronaldo has unlocked something where, especially with athletes that you want to consider ready-made, right? Because a lot of people say his athletes are ready-made, or at least the ones that he has succeeded with are ready-made, right? He's able to do that with them. You know what I mean? Have them, train behind closed doors and still hit the targets, right? So I don't know. Tia was jogging. You think so? Um, I don't know. I don't think I agree, but okay. Solely replaced Tina in the race. I thought Tina just didn't show up. Which no, lane 7 was empty. Wasn't that Tina's lane? Um, Frano kept saying that they have to put in the work and we have to be patient for sure. Um, T and Tina should be taking it easy. No need to break their knee trying to be a cheetah when they are not at that level yet. They move up gradually. Brianna did a massive improvement. She never got her start, but she was closing them. She started to overstride and then she cruised through the line. Yeah, I saw her. That's why I said for me she was reaching. So sometimes when you start to reach, you will overstride. So I saw the reach because in my opinion, clearly, I'm not her. So not in her thoughts, but in my opinion, executing a race, realizing that, you have a horrible start. Sometimes you may panic, you know what I mean? And your execution goes out the door. And that's pretty much what I saw here because she didn't even run like how she typically runs. You know what I mean? So I think that happened because she had a bad start and she was trying to get back. You know what I mean? So when I take all those things into consideration and factor, okay, if she had started how she typically starts, then clearly, the time would have been even much better. So, for me, checkbox cleared. You know what I mean? The only thing I would say is if you're executing your race and you miss a phase or the phase doesn't really work, just don't panic, I would suppose, and just relax and still execute your race. You know what I mean? That's all I would say. Um would love Shakira to run for Team Jamaica. Okay, Nicola. Everybody not grumbling tea, just some. Okay, well, the people that are grumbling are very, very loud with the grumble. You know what I mean? Very loud with the grumble. So I'm just saying. I think Brianna next race will be at 11. Be at 11:1. So yeah, because I was expecting at 11:2, and based on what I saw, I was thinking at 11:2 could have been had. You know what I mean? So that's a massive improvement from a 11:5. I'm not sure. I think everybody's looking at the seventh place and making it about her place in seventh and not taking other things into consideration. I think that's what it's about. I think that's why everybody's making a big deal out of the situation. I mean, other things were going on in the race that we could be focusing on, but I guess um so Brianna is good. Y'all who love to speak negative to her need to go and talk about I mean, the kind of complaints I hear about Brianna, and then when I look at the spectrum of what's happening in track and field, I'm like, so what about everybody else? You know what I mean? Literally, nobody's doing anything, impressive. So I don't see why we're harping on, Brianna. But okay, um, Tina has proved herself to run good times when it matters. So don't worry about Tina. Um, okay. Hey T, where's Akeem Bloomfield? Retired, I think. Semi-retired, retired something. Um, Sharika slated for the 200-meter. All right, guys, I'm not touching Rabat because I'm saving Rabat for Wednesday. I did say I'm saving Rabat for Wednesday, which is why I'm covering everything, up to the weekend, from now, because really and truly we're reaching crunch time where track and field is just coming rapid fire, and I can't wait until Wednesday to do everything because the show would be never ending. You know what I mean? Um, we don't want Shakira if we run for Team Jamaica. Yes, because when I watched the side view of her race again on a video, I saw that she closed down on Alana and Tina. She was neck and neck until she started to cruise at the other stride. Okay. All right. So let's get back into the rest of the results. No, that's not the page. Okay, this is the page. I have too many pages open, guys. Like 100,000, I swear. Did I touch on the women's too? I did. I'll touch on the women's one. Okay. Men's discus. Travis Michael takes the win, 66.89 seconds. Frederick Dacus was second, 65.94. Guys, I want to ask you a question about Frederick Dacus. Is it just me, or does it feel like I don't feel the fire and intensity I used to feel from him back in the day? I just get this weird feeling that he just feels like, meh, like whatever I do, okay. Yeah, like okay. I just don't feel that kind of intensity like, like I used to be feeling from him a couple of years ago before he picked up the injury that he did surgery for. Like no, everything just feels like he's on go slow mode. Like, it is what it is, whatever it is. Like those men, like those depictions of Rastamen that they used to have in animations where they just be sitting down and just puffing their spliff, and they're like that's pretty much how they go through their day. That's the depiction of how people see Rasta people. That's literally the depiction I feel of him now. He's just going through his day, just going like this. And I don't know. It doesn't feel as intense as it did back in the days. I don't know. You guys tell me though. That's how I feel though. Um Jaden Hibbert takes a triple jump, 17.57 meters into a negative 1.3 meters per second wind. All right, so this is something that I wanted to talk about. So Jaden Hibbert took, gosh, maybe two jumps, three jumps, I don't remember. Maybe two jumps, right? And I understood in that moment from a fan perspective when fans grumble, when they say, they want to see the athletes perform. That's why they're there. So I get not needing to jump any further because why? Second place is all the way down in 16.84 meters, right? So there's no need to overdo it. But at the end of the day, people are thinking in their minds that this is a six jump event. People want to see you do six jumps. So I just remember sitting there and thinking, and I'm watching him because I'm just a little bit away from him, and I'm looking down at him and I'm thinking to myself, okay, I want to see you jump. You know what I mean? I want to see you jump. That's the whole thought. So I was kind of disappointed. I'm not lying. He jumped a few times, yeah, but it just felt like for me. It didn't feel like it was enough. I just wanted to see him go through the whole competition. I understand why he didn't do it because he didn't need to. Why need to, risk anything? All these, fancy things. But I'm just saying, from a fan perspective, I was just sitting there thinking, okay, so we're taking off our shorts, we're warming up, we're putting back our shorts on, and then we're going back and saying, okay, we're not doing this jump. Okay. And I just felt disappointed. I did feel disappointed, but it is what it is. Men's high jump, Raymond Charles Richards takes the win, 2.24 meters. Oh, this is not a name I'm familiar with. Raymond Richards. Okay. 2.24 meters. Dontavius Hill was second, 2.20 meters, and Christoph Bryan was third, 2.15 meters. Did I give you a top three for the triple jump? Sorry. Top three for the triple jump. Jadon Hibbert, first 17.57. Jordan Scott, second 16.84. Oboye Wesom. I'm glad seeing Oboye Wesom back actually. 16.62. All right. Now on to the hurdles. I liked this. Malik James King. Wow. This was an impressive run by Malik James King, taking the win, running 48.39 seconds. Malik may be the next guy that's up to go. And I believe by the time Charles rolls around, he's definitely going to be sub 48 for sure. And I'm excited for his prospect. I'm excited for his future. Fantastic running from him. Karen McMaster was second, 49 seconds on the nose, and Jahid Hyde was third, 49.48 seconds. But look here, right now, as to how I'm seeing things, Jamaica may be sending two solid athletes in the hurdles, 400-meter hurdles right now. And I'm saying two solid because if you're not around 47, then I don't even see how first round I look. Maybe you can get past first round. I'm not sure, but for sure you're not making it to the finals. You know what I mean? So I'm intrigued seeing Malik James King, be this fast right now because I'm hoping that the peak should come at trials and the peak should be faster, right? So this is exciting times ahead for Malik James King for sure. I'm happy for him, and I can't wait to see what happens with him going forward. He's very small. In my mind, he's small. He looks small on the track too, so it's interesting seeing him go over the hurdles. You know what I mean? But yeah. All right, so the men's 100-meter hurdles, not much fanfare here. Daniel Roberts won. Everybody thought he would win. He won. 13.17. Eric Edwards was second. 13.33. LaFrance though, I did say LaFrance was recently pro. I believe you went pro this year. I mean last season going into this year. You'd say off season into this year. So with that said, good run, 13.37. So being able to challenge, because I did have America 1, 2, 3. So being able to be in, top three for me was a big run from him. The times though need to clearly be more impressive if he wants to challenge, you know, what I'm hoping, because dear God, I haven't seen them yet. Me not see Rashid Broadbell yet. So just like how I fret about Shelly and Alien, I wonder what going on with everybody coming. Me not see nobody yet, me not see nobody yet. I'm not really worried about Oblique because even though I'm not see him run already. Him give me an idea what him have already. So me not too afraid. Cause me know say next time I see him, all hell go broke loose. You know what I mean? But some of them people I me not see none at all. Right? Well, I did see, to be fair, I did see Rashid Broadbell indoors. But since then, me not see him, so me really I wonder what go on. Me just say, dear God, me just pray say everything all right. Cause Jamaica talk about having one of the best teams ever for go to Paris. And I know we can't see the people them. How really are going? Trials is literally next month and we can't see nobody. No, sir. Oh, mercy. Anyway, let's move on. What is this? 400 meters? No. Okay, so let's talk about 400 meters. I think this was very interesting. Final two, Wendell Miller from Bahamas. was first, 45.57. DeAndre Watkins was second, 46.04. And Wilbert London was third, 46.09 seconds. Javon Francis seems to still be trying to come back, 46.68 for fifth. In if the A final, I did have Matthew Hodges-Smith taking it, 44.69. Matthew Bowen was second, 44.98. Zandrian Barnes was third, 45.41. Antonio Watson was fourth, 45.61. So that's literally more than a second off last week. So again, Trekkies, when everybody was panicking and talking about him last week, I said, listen, that was the first run. You know what I mean? That was literally his first run. Now I know people talked about what is indoor versus outdoor. And I think I was on probably Coaches Dex's platform when we were talking about it. And I'm saying, well, that was what we would call indoor season. So that doesn't really count as outdoor season. You know what I mean? So um his first run out, okay, a 46.7. And here we have him next race out, 45.6. So yeah, Antonio Watson is definitely going to be running himself into shape. With more races, he'll definitely be getting faster and faster. He's scheduled to run at a few more meets coming up, so I know next outing again we'll be seeing a much better version of him. So again, I wasn't worried from the first outing, as I said, and here we are clearly based on that. We're seeing it come to fruition. Where yeah, he's slowly but surely, race after race, getting faster and faster. And that's what you want to see. You know what I mean? Seeing the races, the athletes improve race by race. So by the time trials rolls around, they'll be back to what is their best or even better. You know what I mean? Men's 200 meters. Zarnell Hughes, Fred Curley, Vernon who takes to win 19.96. I did think he would win. Fred Curley was second, 20.17. Pablo Mattia was third from France, 20.20. I thought Christian Coleman would have finished a bit higher, 20.46 in this race. Now, hear me out, guys. For me, and when I think about how Americans run, I'm starting to look at that American team and think that Fred Curley and Christian Coleman are both in trouble for the 100 meters, right? Making the team individually. Hear me out. We have Noah Lyles over there, right? He's proven to be able to beat them when he runs against them, right? So, if we're saying Noah Lyles may have a spot, then we are looking for Kung Fu Kenny around 19.67, looking, masterful over the 100 meters when he ran down there in, where was it? Kenya? Kenya, I think he ran. And then him come back and the 4x1 and run one of the fastest splits for Team America, if not the fastest split. Was it the fastest split? I don't remember. Right, for Team America. So that the Kung Fu Kenny, they look like him one spot in the 100 meters. So a three spot alone, guys. A three spot alone. It means if Fred Curley or Christian Coleman, one of them now make him not. So you know, like for the Christian Coleman, the 20.46 was not impressive. Not impressive for him. And it just goes with the times that I've been seeing in the 100 meters when we really are spinning on a scratch made and I wonder where really are going. What really they're going. You know what I mean? I mean, we still have a few more weeks, and I did hear some coaching, information recently that I'm learning as well, where they're saying, coaches need maybe 2-3 weeks to get you to run really super fast, where they just really focus on, doing short bursts of sprint work, and that's what really makes you go fast, right? So if they only need 2-3 weeks to get you, to run super duper fast, then there's still, there's a lot more time left to get that to happen. But you still have to consider who is out there running. So there's also the young man. What's his name? The young one that just graduated from college at pro. I don't remember his name right now, but he's also running well. So I'm thinking to myself, are some of these American what you would consider stalwarts in trouble? It kind of looks like that. It kind of is looking that way right now. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. It's looking like Fred Curley and Christian Coleman are in a spot of bother. But anyway, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. All right, so that was it too. All right, let me stop here for a moment and read the comments, and then I can continue. Um, where was I? Okay, I think I read that. Bum bum bum. When mentioned Sharika, because you didn't know when the big three are opening. I don't follow what you're saying, Namdi. Um, Sharik already opened, so I'm not sure I follow, but they have to be opening up this. Have them have well, in my opinion, them have to open up in Adam year come. So I'm looking for them next week, the week after. Many if you see them, cause right now me really don't wonder what going. You know what I mean? See, maybe Frederick has not fully recovered from the shoulder injury. Maybe, but he's just giving me. I'm going with the flow. I'm going with the flow, bro. Yeah, that's literally how he feels to me. Like he's just doing. He just has this cool, calm, relaxed vibe that once you get to talking to him, it's like you get lost into his own vibe, and it's like everything is cool, bro. That's literally how I feel. Oh my gosh. Some of the athletes just come to the event just to show up and get paid. Oh, I guess. Um hey Emil Shaw, Dakers did say that whenever when he's trying to throw hard, he feels discomfort between his grind. Okay, so I guess that's why he's chill. Um Hebert was not impressed with the final jump on 10 or 12 steps run up. Think he shut it down after that. Her Justin Gatley that say that some just get paid, just show up to get paid. I mean, again, from a fan perspective, you kind of want to see them perform, so it's kind of disappointing not seeing them perform. And I'm like, you know what I mean? Still, not like the fact that Hansel and Broadbell didn't show up. Um, they have their reasons still. I mean, they must have reasons, but at the end of the day, I'm just thinking to myself, like, what really are going on at John Shop here? Charles is right around the corner. I'll know when it's not no earth shattering. You know what I mean? When it's not no earth shattering, I'll know. So all we are talking about Jamaica getting medal, this medal, that. I don't know what they want. But anyway, let's see. I have a feeling that Hebert wanted to do something really impressive and was disappointed in himself, going by his facial expression during the interview. Well, he did look damn disappointed when he was walking up and down on the track. Like his mood, he just felt glum. You know what I mean? He looked glum the whole time I was looking at him. I got little snippets of him as well. You know what I mean? So yeah. At this rate, only Hebert look like him can medal. At this point, only him alone look like him can medal. Come, I don't know what they go on. I don't know. No, and Wayne Pinnock. Wayne Pinnock. No, the long jump and triple jumpers are doing their thing. Let's put it that way. The long jump and the triple jumpers on the male and female side, they're doing their thing. But right now, me really, I wanted to myself walk one so. Anyway, people may be talking about Johan this and that, and it isn't really making any money, but he actually may be one who is making a lot. Win or lose, them still appear him and invited to the meets. Yeah, I guess. No, and he should listen to his coach. Do not focus on fast time so early. Who is that? Um, I get paid if you run with some fans or young track athletes and look what? And look in China how a lot of people was crowded around him. And one reason why Johan Blake, okay. Um Sometimes I'm a bit lost with some of the comments, guys. I don't really understand what you guys are saying. Tamara Clark is weird to me, along with most of the Americans, cause this past Saturday she ran a legal 10.98 and come again running 22.3 or for fourth in the 200 meters. Yeah, you know what? I can't really put my finger on Tamara Clark because I've called her in for higher placings in races recently. And I just realized that her performances haven't been giving me what I was used to from a Tamara Clark. So I'm not even sure what's going on there as well with her. But Christian's first 100 was good, but maybe he could still be in trouble, as you said. I don't know. It's just looking a bit suspect at this particular point. And again, it's based on what is happening in America because there are also other athletes in there that are running and they're running similar close times or even better, right? And especially over the 200 meters. One thing about, yeah, the guy is Courtney Lindsay, right? One thing about guys that are running faster over the 200 meters, they'll always have a stronger finish, right? And Christian Coleman already doesn't have a strong finish, and he's already not really doing anything impressive in the one, and then you come and you see him run a 200-meter time that looks like this year, you have to start scratching your head now and thinking to yourself, so you mean if you tell me it's Courtney Lindsay I got beat out, some of these guys here in the 100-meter right now, how things are looking in a Courtney Lindsay could have very well beat out Fred Curley and Christian Coleman, right? And that only leaves Noah Lyles and who else made it say, and let's see what Kenny Bennett does on D Day, right? But somebody is not going. Somebody we have all of them big chat they now go. I mean, me just don't know who, but so one of the people that with the big chat now go. Or maybe two of them now go. You know what I mean? That's very interesting. Um, what did you think about Stacey's run? I think she was trying to execute the same race she executed previously, which in terms of is just a sprint from gun to tape. I just didn't think she had the legs to take it home. Do I think that's not how she should execute? Not necessarily, because I think you have to sprint, all the way around. I just think in this particular race, it just didn't work. You know what I mean? Um, 'cause she came and not one but two diamond leagues and run 23. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's something going on with these athletes, guys. I don't know what going on. Some of them are saying that they switch things up for the season. Yeah, 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 blah blah blah. But not everybody just randomly start run slow. Some fishy if it's true. Me not telling you like something not smell right. Something does not smell right, and I mean, I hope it's not what it is. People are saying it is. That's all. Um, Coleman is not a 200-meter runner. He's running. I would like you to tell Coleman's personal best is 19.8 or a 6. What you to tell me, say? Christian Coleman. His 200-meter personal best is 19.85. This is not a good 200-meter runner. If that is considered not a good 200-meter runner, then me change my name. Um, Keisha Wilmot, when you see fast times in the USA, look at where they're running at. I feel like Alexis made Stacy nervous, and we needed Cherokee to see where she is at. Um, Kimbella, same thing with Shelly. No, no, I don't agree. Similar, but I don't agree, and here's why I don't agree. Let's take Shelly before Walcott. Um, much stronger finish than anything Christian Coleman has ever had, right? So even though she always had that bullet start, she wasn't fading ridiculously. Christian Coleman was fading ridiculously. You know what I mean? And Shelly Post, Ronaldo Walcott is we're not even having the same conversation anymore. You know what I mean? That's a whole different Shelly and Fraser Price. So no, it's not the same thing. Um, not the same thing at all. And Shelly is now a world class. Even if you didn't consider her 22, what was it, 2208 or something like that, personal best. But then what she's running now, 21.79 is world class. So yeah, no guy, no Kimbella. I don't agree. Yeah, but Shelly's running medal times in the 200 meters. Shelly has medaled, when was that? 2022. Shelly medaled in the 200 meters. So Christian Coleman hasn't medaled in, when has he ever medaled in the two? I don't even want to say he hasn't. Let me see what his honors are, because I don't remember. He hasn't medaled in the two. He has not. He has not medaled in the two. You know what I mean? And I know he has doubled, but he hasn't been able to medal in the two. And we're not even talking about Shelly won, the triple back in 2013. Forget that Shelly. We're talking about current Shelly. They're not in the same conversation. Never, at all. No, I don't think Shelly will be running the 200 meters ever again. Maybe for training purposes, but not championships. All right, let's move on to the final event. Let's move on to the 100 meters. So we had, I thought I said Taekwondo Tracy had one. It was Brand Level? I'm confused. Okay. You see what I mean? I said, like, I'm in the stadium and them announced Shaq on the Tracy as the winner. Now I'm seeing here that it's Brian Level. Ah, it didn't die. You die. It's a mosquito. So Brian Level takes the win running 10.15 seconds. It's the same time. Oh, I guess they were tied down to the thousands because it's both of them are first place. So I guess they were unable to separate them. They were unable to separate them. So 10.15 for Brian Level, 10.15 for Taekwondo Jason. Personal best for Brian Level, Taekwondo Tracy, season's best. How did I think this run went? Um Taekwondo Tracy, excellent execution through I believe like 70. Has to make sure he gets stronger through that last 30 to make sure that he's not fading. Because he did lose a bit of ground, which is why Brian Level was able to catch him back, in my opinion. Um, for this particular race. For Brian Level, no, his execution looked a bit more, what would I say, even, right? Even a bit more evenly distributed. And walked away with a personal best here. Still, though, he's trailing behind Sandra Davison. I'm interested to see what will happen when trials rolls around, between both camps. Who is able to pick their athlete the best with? He's with Shaniki Osborne. Let's see what Shaniki Osborne, is able to do with him, because that's going to be the true test for her. She doesn't have a world class athlete anymore in Ilian Thompson Hero. So I'm eager to see how she's able to pick him for the trials versus what's his name? Michael Freighter is able to do for Sandra Davis, because so far Sandra Davis has been running, personal best. He got DQ'd unfortunately in the outing, over the weekend, but he's been running well, and we've seen him on a few relay legs as well, doing well. So, I mean, let's see though. Let's see. Moving on to that final race. So Julian Forte. This is what I really wanted to talk about here, right? So at the Jamaica Invitational, right? Jamaica Athletics Invitational. Julian Ford was up against Akeem Blake, right? As well as Kajon Golson, Ronnie Baker. Sandra Davison unfortunately got DQ'd, as I said, in this particular race. But going in, the talk was, or the conversation was, who would really take this win, right? No, on one hand, we had Julian Ford running a season's best, I believe 10:07, right? While Akeem Blake was nowhere close to anything that would be his best. I believe his season's best was like a 10:2 heading into this particular race. But there's still the conversation still was, who would take this win, because Julian Ford has, always, failed to, I guess, deliver when it mattered most. Though this is not considered one of those moments that it matters most at, but he's always been one of those athletes that, never really delivered when he was supposed to deliver. But on this particular day, he delivered, taking the race running, 10.02 seconds, separated by the thousands from Akeem Blake running 10.02. I'm actually very impressed by Akeem Blake. He seems to finally, I did a silent cheer because I couldn't be making a whole bunch of noise on the camera, but yeah, I did a silent cheer when I saw, the times for them both, because I was like, yes, Akeem Blake is finally back in the conversation, because I was really wondering what in God's world is going on here with Akeem Blake. But I'm loving what I'm seeing now from him. Clearly, finally, getting back into the realms where he needs to be. Actually, I talked about, them peaking him at the right time. It seems to be working. Getting faster at it right around the right time. Charles is right, right a month away, I would say. Um, it's a little over a month away, right? By then I know. Let's see if he's be able to run back into 9.8s, right? Or maybe even fast. Well, I don't know faster, but let's see the 9.8s, right? Julian Ford though definitely delivered in this particular race. Now he has entered the conversation in terms of, and again, how he did it as well, because Akeem Blake, um, was leading and he was able to overtake Akeem Blake. So now the question becomes, when they're peaked, right, and at their best at the end of the season, the question is in my mind, how do we shape up who potentially gets these top spots at the trials? And I remember there's only 3 spots, right? Who gets these top spots to represent Team Jamaica, right? Is it Akeem Blake, right? Is it Julian Ford, the man that people say that we can't count on. He never delivers on the day he's supposed to deliver. Is it Julian Ford? Can he be in the conversation? No. We haven't seen again Oblique Civil run a 100 meters. Dear God, we also haven't seen Kishane Thompson, and I'm praying on that one. Stephen Francis, the powers that be MVP. I'm praying that everything is good with Kishane, and we will see him shortly. But anyway, the question in my mind is Julian Fourth a valid, you know, has a valid shot at this particular point at a spot on the team? Now, there are a few other people that I haven't even talked about. Clearly, the Rohan Watsons and all these other people that made the team last year. I haven't even talked about the Ryan Fords. Not these people. You know what I mean? I'm just throwing out what I would consider is the fastest. Let's put it that way, right? Does Julian Fort, you know, have a say? Right now, do remember someone in the chat saying, Julian Ford felt like he wanted to stop because he felt something in his hamstring. Um, so your thought process is he's already done for, even though he's just started. I actually have a different take on that particular view. I'm actually glad he didn't stop. Hear me out. Every single time Julian Ford, sometimes I think some of these injuries are mental. You see, because you've already had the injury, you keep telling yourself that if you push yourself, you're gonna re-injure yourself, right? And I feel like when he said in his brain, or no, not in his brain, but when he said he felt something, from me personally, no, don't get me wrong, I'm not Julian Ford. Clearly he may have really felt something, but in my opinion, the vibe I'm getting is that this is probably something all in his head. You know what I mean? And I'm glad he actually pushed through. And hear me out. It's not to break down that mental barrier that's blocking you from pushing, because that's the problem Julian Force has always had over the years. Every single solitary time he's in a situation where he's supposed to push, what does he do? He pulls up. Every single solitary time he's supposed to push, he pulls up. And I feel like it's just, him having PTSD from, the injury that he suffered before. We hear about Johan Blake talking about his injury over the years, and that's part of the reason why, he hasn't been able to, get back to his best, because he has PTSD about the issue, about the injury. I think that's the same thing with Julian Ford. So I think in this particular moment, even though, he's saying, he felt something, and some of y'all are saying he's probably done, I think it was good for him from a mental perspective. One, him pushing through whatever he felt, right? And two, winning this race, because mentally it tells him, yes, I can win. And two, oh, whatever I thought I had in I felt in my leg wasn't what I thought it was. You know what I mean? That's the vibe I'm getting personally when it comes to Julian Ford. I definitely think he has a solid shot. No, outside of Oblique Seville, personally, that's the only person I've really seen so far this season. That has a one hand on a spot. The only other person that I haven't seen that I'm thinking about is Kishane Thompson, but I haven't really seen anything, so I can't really say he has one hand when I haven't even seen anything yet. You know what I mean? Um, so that said, I think Julian Ford definitely has a valid, shot, you know, at making or getting one of those top three spots on the team to the Olympic Games. He has come out really strong this season, and if he continues to progress this way, not only do I see, personal best for him clearly, but definitely, finally, in my opinion, a 9-8 Julian Ford that potentially maybe is on the team to the Olympic Games. Let me all know your thoughts in the comment section. Let me stop sharing this and let me read. No, let me not stop sharing. Let me just read what y'all have to say. Yeah, let me stop this share. I'm asking if her front herself. Your shots. I don't know why everybody thinks I don't like you know, Rano. It's the weirdest thing to me. Not because I question certain things, guys, don't mean I don't like people. Don't do that. Where am I? Shelly has 2 medals in the 200 meters, right? She has that gold from back in 2000 and what's it, 13, and now in 2022 she has that. So what was it? Silver behind Sharika. Um, Brian will out things by trials because he keeps running down his time. Okay. Good evening. Good evening. Hey, Shayon. Um, Subscribe. Yes, they have to be subscribed, of course, and like, guys. Please remember to be liking the videos. One thing with Brianna though, she said she's gonna run more 200, but most times when she's entered in the two, oh yeah, I noticed that. I think that was the only thing that I questioned in my mind, where I was like, why do we keep seeing her entered in the two when she's not running the two? You know what I mean? If you're not gonna have her run the two, then just don't enter her in the two. You know what I mean? That's my opinion, but yeah. Um, Fort is always injured though. Again, I think for Forts, sometimes with these athletes, sometimes it's a mind thing, guys. I think it's a mind thing. And I think for now, based on what I saw, I think it was a good thing that he ran through. And I think potentially the monkey may be off his back. For lack of a better term, I think the monkey may be off his back. And I think that we're going to be seeing, Julian Fort, a better version of himself. You know what I mean? And I think he will be a challenger. Does that mean he automatically gets a spot? No, because there's still Akeem Blake in the conversation. There's still, as I said, Ryan Fords, the Rohan Watsons, any other, secret person that may, sneak in, like we saw a few people sneak in last year. That shocked me. You know what I mean? There's so much that could change, and happen in that short time frame. But I do think, he has a valid shot. Um, Ford does not look like he can do rounds because he's injury prone, similar for Kishane. Again, I get that, but I also think some of it is mental. So I think probably we may see him, a better version of him this year. I'm hoping on it, guys. There's nothing wrong with wanting to see our athletes, be better versions of themselves. I mean, if it doesn't happen, then it is what it is. But I'm always not gonna just be knocking them just because I can knock them. When they're doing good, we can call this out and say, yeah, that's good, and we could potentially see better. T, you're asking for front's help. I'm shocked. I'm shocked too. uh, T, can Julian manage the rounds at trials? I think this is a year for Julian where we will see him break through certain mental barriers. No more false starts, no more whatever was going on with him in previous years. I see him to the finals challenging for a spot. Will he get it? Don't know, but he should be able to. Um, He's not pulling up on purpose. Some people are injury prone. No, I get the injury prone part, but I think part of him pulling is also mental. I think he has a mental thing about, re-injuring himself. Even when you listen to Tajay Gill's talk, when Tajay Gill is jumping, you see sometimes he pulls back because in his mind he's thinking, oh my gosh, if I do this, I may re-injure myself, right? And I've seen it visibly from Tajay Gill multiple times when he's jumping. I see that kind of hesitation right before he's supposed to take off his jump. And that's the thing that I'm saying, to say that in sprinters it also happens as well. And I don't necessarily think it's because you're injured in this particular moment. I think it's a mental thing where you're like, you don't want to go back to square one, so you don't want to push your body to certain levels. That's my thing. I think that's what it is. And that's why I'm saying I'm glad he pushed through in this particular race, because I feel like he needs to get that monkey off his back. He needs to see that he can do this, see that he can run against Akeem and all these other guys and still be able to win. You know what I mean? No, don't get me wrong. You will always win. Wins would be traded. Akeem will come out and win the next time around, or vice versa. But I'm just saying, in this moment, I think he needed that from a mental perspective to win this race. Um, Oblique is gonna cover. Yep, yep. I have a lot of things that I want to cover, guys, with athletes, but I don't want to cover them in this particular video. Um, Spawn from Hell or something like that. Can't imagine if you didn't like him. That's not what I said. I, I don't remember what I said, but I didn't call him a Spawn from Hell. I said he was a. I said something about narcissistic something. I said not narcissistic something. I don't know what I said, but you guys keep making it worse and worse. Oh my gosh. Shelly has an Olympic silver as well. Oh no, I was talking about world championships. So I don't know why we're having this kind of comparison between what's his name? Christian Coleman and Shirley, like they were ever similar. There's nothing similar about them. Yes, the two of them have always had famous, bullet starts, but Shirley's execution towards the last part of the race was always much better. Even, if you go back to 2009, where you say, Karen was running down on Shirley, that was still a much better version of anything Christian Coleman has ever given. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I don't think I agree. And I don't even think that was because Shelley was slowing down. I think that was because Karen just had a really bad start, and her top end really kicks in at that particular point in time, and she was just hunting down Shelley. I think that's what happened. I don't necessarily think she was just slowing down ridiculously. You know what I mean? Um, let's see. Remember, Fabian was always talking about Julian and Tebogo, and look at Tebogo now. We can expect the same thing from Julian Forte. Let's see. If your mind can't go there, your body will resist. Exactly. That's the point I'm trying to make. If your mind can't go there, your body is going to resist. And I think that that's part of the issue that he's been having. His mind has been resisting it, hence his body has also been doing it. Right. And he said in the race that he felt something, and that's clearly, his mind probably telling him, and his body also locking down, and he's like, okay, no, I gotta fight through this. And he fought through it, you know what I mean? And I think kudos to him. Do I think he's injured? I don't think he's injured. I think he's going to be fine, and I think he's going to come out in another few races and do whatever he needs to do and turn up at trials and be in the conversation. You know what I mean? Just imagine if he had stopped, then what? You know what I mean? He'll be back to square one mentally. You know what I mean? See, I can't do this. Every single time I'm getting faster, something always goes wrong. You know what I mean? So yeah. Um, Also, Shelly have Pan Am 200-meter gold. Child, I don't know. None of these, I don't want to say lesser athletes, not lesser athletes, lesser medals. But I couldn't tell you one of those, I guess Commonwealth medals, whatever these athletes have, Pan Am, left, right, and center. No. My barrier for Shelly, and all these, elite athletes is the global championships. So I'm only checking for these Olympics, world championships, world indoor. That's what I'm checking. All of them millions of other medals that what them have, everything else that them compete at, I can't tell you one of them. Um, if it's a mental thing for some, then they need to practice some mindfulness meditation. I don't think it's as easy as people make it sound. If it was so easy, then we wouldn't be hearing athletes, having these particular issues, right? But again, I think this was a breakthrough for him. T, is it true that Anderson ran a PB 13 something? No, but somebody sent it to me. No, I think that's, well, it's not in English, one. But what I'm thinking is that it's a poster. Um, a meet should be coming up, I believe, tomorrow, one of these days. A meet should be coming up. Let me check. A meet should be coming up. I'm gonna check the date because I think I saw the date on the poster. A meet is gonna be coming up, and where did you get it from again? I think I saw. A meet is gonna be coming up. Okay, so the meet is. I swear I saw the date on the meet. Or did I Google it? I think I did Google it. Okay, I probably Googled it. So I think I Googled the meet, and the meeting is gonna be held one of these days. Um, yeah. So the meeting is coming up. I want to say tomorrow. I want to say tomorrow, the 14th. But anyway, so it's a poster that they made for Brittany Anderson and Omar McLeod, and they had their PBs put on it. So I think people are a little confused and thought that they had broken their personal best because it said breaking news. I don't know who puts a poster and says breaking news when like that, when it's just for a start list, because it surprised a few people. I have to say, it definitely surprised a few people. Um, Broadbell think him big up, but what? Him think he big up, but he ain't proved nothing yet. What are you talking about? Think he's big? Listen, guys, if the coach has sent these athletes out, especially from a Jamaican perspective, there's no athlete that can turn down, running if the coach send you go run, as far as I'm concerned, right? So with that said, I don't think Rashid Broadbell not running is because of Rashid Broadbell. I don't know. I just don't know what Ronaldo Walcott is around there cooking up. Um, I've been saying it's always because if them ban Mboma due to her testosterone, why not give Shelly her 200-meter bronze medal from Tokyo? Good point. I've never thought about it, but that's a good point. But then they'd have to go through and take away all those medals from everybody else, and there are quite a few people with testosterone, and that's way too much drama to build up. So I think it's just okay to just let it go. Um, but it's kind of hypocritical too because when they're able to retroactively take a medal from Nesta Carter for that 4x1. Remember back then that supposed what is it called again? What the heck was it? Whatever it was called, the thing that he took back then that was not a banned substance, right? No, it is, but it wasn't back then, right? So if you're retroactively able to go ahead and do that because no, you've added this thing and no, you're saying, oh, this thing can do this mask. Well, according to them, it's a masking agent, right? So it's not even that it does anything itself, but it supposedly would mask other things if it's found in your system, right? So with that said, if they can retroactively remove medals from Team Jamaica, then they can retroactively give Shelly her medal. I agree with you in that particular sense, but I don't think I agree with it because I didn't agree with them taking away the Jamaica's medal because of it because I thought that was nonsense. So in that same breath, I would say I don't think it it should just go. It happened already. It wasn't a thing back then. It's happening now. It's a thing now. Let's just move forward in the future. You know what I mean? Um Keisha, the rules weren't in place at the time, so they won't go back. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It's hypocritical, Nolan, because they retroactively remove medals from Team Jamaica. And Team Jamaica, I think, is the only one that suffered it. And I think it's because we're Jamaican why they did it. Because if it was any other country, America, whoever, they would not have taken away that medal because it was nonsense in the first place, right? But they've done it, right? So you know, I think they're being a bit hypocritical. T, don't you think Shelly was robbed a bronze medal in Tokyo? No, I don't think so, guys. I mean, it wasn't a thing back then. Oblique, like he made out of gingerbread. He need to hit the European circuit and tune his craft and stop hiding. Well, he'll be hitting America at one of these, meets. I think it's the Adidas meet. Personally, I hate that Adidas meet because I hate the track because I don't think these athletes can run to their full potential on the track. The track, it just to me looks like it's wobbly and it's uneven, and I just see hills and gullies. And I don't know if I'm the only one that sees this, and I see the athletes falling all over the place. I mean, I know what can attract that. Adidas have enough money to go rent one stadium someplace and go make the people them run properly. I mean, I understand this building this track in this middle of this in this city where not healthy for the athlete them. I can't agree with that. I mean, I like it. So even though he's gonna be running there, me not even want to go run the car, you go hurt yourself. Me can't bother with that track there. I hate it. But it is what it is. Let's see what he does there. Yeah, I think they purposely took it away because they didn't want Usain Bolt to have a triple triple. I've thought that for years. I've thought they purposely took that medal away from Jamaica because they didn't want Usain to have that triple triple. I think I don't think there's any other reason because what they did makes absolutely no sense. No sense. T, easy, LOL. What I hate the truck. The truck is nonsense. Have you ever seen athletes run on a truck? They look like they're about to break their leg. Like that truck, it should not be a truck that these athletes should be running on, and they don't really voice their complaint. Everyone's like, "Oh, it's fun to run here," while I'm watching them drop all over the place. It's fun to run here. I'm like, not because your sponsor, is keeping the meat here, on have it make it sound like it nice. In a nice, turn over and a twist on the foot and all sorts of something on the track. And no, say nothing. It's the weirdest thing. I swear to you, it is the weirdest thing. But anyway, guys, I have covered everything that I wanted to cover. So I've talked about the Jamaican Invitational. Um, I've talked about the conference roundup. I've talked about Julian Forte. And I think that's going to be it for me tonight. A 3 hour stream. Just imagine if I was doing this on Wednesday, plus talking about all the meetings that are coming up over the weekend. This stream would be 6 hour long. So with that said, guys, is there anything else that you all want to drop on me that has nothing to do with the meetings coming up over the weekend? Because I will be touching those on Wednesday. Let me know. If there's nothing else, then guys, I'm gonna be bouncing, and I'll catch you guys in another video. And of course, I appreciate you guys always turning up. Please remember to hit the like button, guys. Hit the like before you all go. Like every single time, I feel like I have to be squeezing throats to hit like. This should just be a thing where you guys come on here, you know that, hit like because that's how you're supporting the channel. But I always have to be forcing y'all to hit like, and I don't like when I have to be forcing y'all because this should be our thing. You know what I mean? This is our thing. This is our understanding, right, between each other, right? So yeah, hit the like, hit the like, hit the like before y'all go. And I appreciate seeing you guys tonight. And I will catch you guys on Wednesday because I'm not getting anything else from you guys. So I'll catch you all on Wednesday. Mwah. One love.